key to muscles and wealth. It's game day men's health.
That's right, Dan. Game day men's health. That's where I'm doing my TRT. You can get 10% off TRT for life when you mention the Dumb Zone. They got several locations here at DFW. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Maybe you're just feeling a little sluggish. Maybe you just want to be the man you were called to be. The man you know is inside you.
Or maybe you've been
that.
feeling sluggish, like you turned 50 and stuff, and you're like, oh, man, is this the rest of my life? Yeah.
It doesn't have to be. You can get TRT 10% off for life when you mention the Dumb Zone at any of their locations. You can ask your location about. They got vitamin therapy, got peptides, all sorts of things they can help you with. Weight gain, just being lame, they can help you with that. Game Day Men's Health.
GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
GameDayMen'sHealth.com is the website for that corresponding business.
Yeah, find that location near you. You got to tell them that you heard about them on the Dumb Zone. Very, very important, or you'll be paying more than other listeners.
Don't do that.
What?
All right.
We'll get it.
We can take out that sting, but I think it amuses you.
It does. A little dribble.
And I like things to amuse you. Hello, friends. I'm Dan McDowell. This is Dumb Zone.
I'm Jake Kemp.
I'm Blake Jones.
We're here high atop my garage. We're not in the Game Day Men's Health Studios in downtown Dallas. So I suppose the Den's naming rights are still up for grabs. We can go with Community Mechanical for today because they installed HVAC or Qualis Roofing. They installed a roof above this place.
Yep. Got a game day hat on.
God. Got a game day hat.
Don't encourage him.
Oh, we had parent of little kid. I can tell right away.
Yep.
He says that all the time, or he's told that by his wife, as his little boy's laughing at poop or something. And
look, now he thinks it's funny.
And then it's somehow transferred the blame onto you because you encouraged that, as if
dude. Let me tell you something.
Your kid is just going to do whatever you say.
Let me tell you something. When she gets on to me about something like that, I am the NBA superstar who wants to get on the good side of the refs. I am holding my... I know it's my foul. Every time. I'll hold up my number for you. Yeah, I was encouraging him. Yeah, it was funny.
Anyway,
great day with the fam yesterday. What a good business Wednesday afternoon fam date.
Really?
Yeah, man. Think back whenever you were...
What did you do?
Your kids were my kids' age. If you just had one day a week where you're like, I got to get all this stuff done, but I don't have to go in, and your kids were school age, it's awesome, especially in the summer. So
kids are awesome, man. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You're in the sweet spot.
I don't think I want to keep... I know that you're right, but I feel like if you say it's the sweet spot and these are the good years, then you're just acknowledging that at some point it has to be total shit, which I know it will, but I don't want to think about it. I want to think it's all going to be good. Yesterday...
I don't know that it goes to total... Like, I wouldn't call my life total shit. I think it's going great.
No,
but I
mean
that
the
was
relationship
like
with the kids. You know, like...
Oh, yeah,
you'll hear parents talk
It'll go
about...
up and down.
Like, yeah. We went to a pizza place in Louisville. This is the power of moms on the gram. I'd never heard of this place, but apparently there's like an old downtown Louisville. And they got like, a brewery and whatever. And they have an Italian place, a pizza place. I think it was called Danona. And I think it was maybe $12-14 per kid. But if you go between 2 and 4 on Wednesday, they let the kids make a pizza. It's pretty simple. They've got the dough in a huge ball, and they want you to knead it or roll it out, put the seasoning on it, and then spread. But
I've been to a place like that. They used to have one in Colleyville.
It's a good gimmick.
It's a lot of fun.
And the kids love it. They just want a cheese pizza. It's too big for them, so I eat the rest of it. And now
your life is...
everybody's winning.
Having kids, it's fun, but it is about killing time with them. Can you make it educational? Maybe. I don't know. But otherwise, you're trying to kill time. You're trying to get something that is worth something in that time, not just hand them the iPad. But even that, if you're handing the iPad, well, this one is kind of educational.
ABC
This is,
Mouse. Yeah,
they need
recommended
to
by
learn
4
about
out of-
the Cowboys.
Yeah,
I've told you that's my problem with my weekends with my kid because my wife works weekends, and so I'm solo with Brooks on Saturday and Sunday, and my goal is to just get to Sunday night when this can all be over with.
Get them tired enough to go to sleep.
But then I think of you, like, just like you said, we're in the sweet spot. This is the fun time with kids. And so there's just such a dilemma here of how do I enjoy my time but also get this done with as soon as I can.
Don't think of it like you're trying to tire them out. Just thinking of it like you're just...
I mean, that's what you're thinking at night. Like all the stuff we did and you're not tired. But, yeah, go skating, go...
Yeah, I'm not trying
do a ton of stuff.
I just try to think of it like...
see the world.
Just like you're hanging out with your bros, but it's just him instead. Like you're kicking it, you know? I used to just go do shit with my friends in my 20s in the evening if I had nothing to do. Now I just do this.
Yeah.
And honestly, when it's just me and him, it feels very similar because if he's in the back of the car and like the song changes, no matter when it changes, he's like, "Who is this?" But he says it in kind of slurred. He can't really talk. He's like, "Who is this?"
That does sound like when you hang out with your bros.
That's what I'm saying. And from the front seat, 3 or 4 times, I've instinctively thought about somebody having the aux cord in like the back of a 2004 Altima that I'd rolled a blunt in, and he just goes like, "Who is this? Who is this?" And I'm just like, "You like this shit?" Like, I hit him exactly the same as if I was just playing something for my buddies, and we just hang out. So it was fun, and after that, there was a little, you know the move after that. Ice cream near me. And there was a place in downtown Louisville called Shakeland, and they had ice cream, but what they also had was they called it Dubai chocolate. You know they have like different treats in different parts of the world. Are you guys aware of this? Have you seen this?
Yeah.
So they're like I guess this is something that comes from both like Iran and Turkey, and they use Belgian chocolate, but it has like these pistachio thing. A sit-in was indicating he'd heard of it.
My wife loves them.
Okay, it's got like some, I don't know, some weird pistachio. It's like a Kit Kat almost, but it was crazy good. And the lady, you know, she's got the news on, max volume. And it's kind of like, oh, and Kristen was like, God, that's aggressive. I'm like, well, I have a feeling this is pertinent for her. And yeah, I walked over there and I was like, okay, so like, where's this? Is this made in Dubai? And she's like, no, I make it here. I'm like, that's not what I meant.
Funny.
I mean, does this style of chocolate? She's like, no, Bedford or Louisville. You know, and so we just started talking, and it was depressing and encouraging at the same time because I could tell she was about 45, which means, and I could tell she was Persian, which means I know why you're here. You left in '79, or your family left. And so I just started talking to her about it, and it was, I don't know, she was a sweetheart of a lady. It was cool. People like that, you know, they get joy to give you their weird culture thing, you know? And so she was the kids taking a bite of it. She was really into it, and she was like, you know, I think it's over. And I was like, the conflict? And she's like, well, for today. And I was like, it might be for today. I was like, I don't think it's over, though. And
Why?
She was just like, yeah, it's hard for regular people. She's like, I don't have anything to do with this. And I was like, all right, got to go.
I'm definitely the idiot of the show. Or at least the middle idiot. I have a college degree.
Oh, I'm the idiot of the show.
I think a lot about the fact that if the three of us took an IQ test, I would 100% finish third. Not by much, but I would.
Look at this sandbagger.
I know.
Just because I know a bunch of stuff doesn't mean I'm smart. I just read a bunch of shit.
But you did say, like, I know she left in '79, and I don't have any idea what that means.
No.
Well, they
really wanted Ronald Reagan to be their president?
No, well, so we find ourselves in a weird position here where we're like, man, we should go get that regime over there out of there. Those are no good. We want democratically elected ones. And I'm not going to sit here and pump up the Iranian regime. And obviously, I don't really want to talk about this. But the point is, in 1979, you know, they overthrew the government that we had installed. Right? Like, we had a CIA-backed, like, run, you know, I don't want to say Banana Republic, but we ran the country. They were like, we're tired of this shit. And if you ever watch parades of 1979 in Tehran, that was the first time I had ever seen like revolutionary parades before.
That's like the hostages, right?
Yeah, right.
That's the Iranian hostage, yeah.
And so, you know,
that's a big deal as a little kid.
if you meet people from over there, a lot of times, you know, their family came here right then, and a lot of times they were born here, like right around then.
Okay. Well, send
The
them back
chocolate's
anyway.
dope, is what I'm saying.
The chocolate. Oh yeah,
It's
the
phenomenal chocolate. Dubai chocolate.
Nice looking lady.
I knew Dan would be interested.
Not my type, but I need you to be
Oh, yeah, you
very
like 'em
aware
very
that
white.
Persian,
Only American.
Persian. This lady's whiter than I am.
Okay.
I reject whatever claim you just made about my racial preferences. My only rule is no Asians.
Oh. Interesting.
I have standards here, personal. The other thing I did yesterday, real quick, is I had to go. Nora did like a 3 half-day dance camp. I guess it's just through like Colleyville Heritage or something.
Killing time.
100% killing time. She's done a couple of other things this summer already where I'm like, that was valuable.
And you sign them up for that, and you're like, you know what? It's a similar price if I just paid a babysitter to be at home with her.
Yeah,
so
it
why
is.
not?
Well, she's with 2 or 3 friends, and
Yeah.
in my mind, I think of it as she's getting 4 hours of follow instruction practice, right? Fine, it's cool. It's cheap. But then to put on the parents that we're going to have like a, quote, show-off, I believe that you've been teaching them dancing. I'm not worried about it at all.
Yeah, that's probably for that.
But calling for me to be there at noon on a Wednesday.
Ooh, that's a
And
tough one.
here, let me tell you something. I went to a dance recital the week prior. They had worked on those dances for 5-6 months, and it was awesome. You know, they were very proud. This was 2.5 days. It was like a 1-minute dance.
Dance Pride Night.
It was a joke. I was upset.
Did you go nuts? Did you go off? Did you give him a piece of your mind?
Yeah, I'm actually going to show up at the next school board meeting about it. But why would we need a camp? She went to the camp at the lake last week at Grapevine Lake. They did not ask me at the end of it to be like, watch her swim.
Yeah, like graduation.
Check this out.
3-day camp graduation.
Do the slide, Nora. Show them what you've been doing. Like, oh, I know. You don't need me.
So on Business Wednesday, we actually recorded a Business Wednesday interview for next week, and it was with some guys from Whataburger, and we have not promoted yet. We need to make sure everybody knows about this. We're going to be at Whataburger in
Texas.
No, is it Frisco officially? Yeah, El Dorado in the Tollway. Tuesday, July 8th. Regular show time is we record at 11:30 every day. We actually go live every day, too, if you care. You can go to YouTube and see that. But so El Dorado in the Tollway. Oh, damn. My car tray's in my car.
That's okay, man. We got a video
I'm
out
going to
there.
go get it.
No,
Talk to the...
If people want to see it, they can see it.
No, I want you to talk to the introduce our sit-ins and stuff while I go.
Okay, yeah.
Go get the car tray.
All right, we've got Justin Hayward. You might not have wanted your last name out there.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so my thought here is just, why go get the tray to we did it on the show the other day, and we have a visual of the tray out there on social media right now, a funny little send-up.
He must have a bit planned for it.
That's probably, why should I ever doubt him? He certainly has something better than
Yeah.
just he's going to bring the tray back up here. So what's your bit, Justin? What do you do? We got
yeah.
some fucking beef in here today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
These boys have pushed the sled.
if we need a yard,
Yeah.
we got you.
Yeah, Blake's in heaven.
Yeah, no, I just longtime fan of
No, like work, what's your bid?
Yeah, so I'm a management consultant, so right now I'm attached to a roofing company, so I kind of specialize with...
How big of a roofing company uses a consulting? Like bigger than Qualis?
No,
Or is a company that size?
No, it's they do about 4 to 5 million a year, and so
I guess I don't really know.
a lot of entrepreneurs in that space got a skill set. They're great at like getting stuff fired up. I'm sure you guys probably went through some of these same growing pains where you get it going, and then you just don't have that structure in place to kind of help you scale. And
we have a fractional CFO.
it's basically what I do.
And he's like Christ to me.
Is he?
I mean, he just from what he's taught me to also just how easy he makes everything.
Yeah.
All right, Dan's back.
How was it when I was gone? Terrible, right?
Learned a
Magical.
little. Well, yeah, the show just isn't the same without you.
No, Blake is waiting. He said you probably have.
Justin.
Blake said
Buddy
you probably have a huge bit planned.
Oh,
Which is why you went down and got it. So we were just waiting.
no,
for
I just
it.
wanted to show everybody the tray. It's the car tray. This is Jake's dream, and they have made these exclusively for us. Like you can't go on the Wada store. We've been to the Wada store, and you could
You can buy a lot of cool stuff there.
buy gear, shirts, hats,
This Wrangler
cups.
Whataburger shirt. Not that one though, baby.
This is going to be free for the first 75 people that show up. You're going to have to indicate that you're a Dumb Zone listener. We got to be careful about that. We can't just give them to any idiot.
Yeah,
Frisco, because Frisco's full of them idiots.
I had an idea for how people could prove their loyalty, but thought I'd probably be pretty sleepy after we gave out like 4 or 5 trays. So I'm just like,
Okay.
anyways.
Like 90%, 10? Is that what we're talking about? So,
I mean, that would prove you're a fan,
yeah.
but we don't. We've got to come up with some sort of purity test.
Yeah, so El Dorado and the Tollway. Tuesday, July 8th. We got to pump it up because we're going to be gone next week. And we will have some programming for you, but
And I think you have to buy a number
Nope.
one. Okay, that's what the copy said.
no, it didn't say you have to buy a number one to get anything.
Okay.
It's just we want to promote. Let's see what the copy did say. I'll look at the copy. 'Cause I was looking at the copy this morning.
I'm looking at it right now.
What does the copy say?
Whataburger's 75th anniversary. We're celebrating it with a live Dumb Zone podcast and the Dumb Zone Whataburger car tray.
Oh, here's their. They put in the copy. Tell your boss you're taking an extended lunch to get your number one with cheese. Hang with us and get your car tray.
Yeah, they didn't put
So
that in
you-
any copy.
Got it.
So you interpreted that as you must buy a
Purchase required.
You have to
legally
buy something
binding
with
contact.
cheese,
yeah.
or else.
Well,
Like if
I would
you're
imagine Whataburger wants you to show up and get lunch, not just roll in and get a tray and leave.
It wasn't. You know, they're a restaurant.
I think that just
That's implied.
is implied. Yeah, you're coming to Whataburger.
So you're saying no one had plans of just walking in and getting the tray and leaving?
I'm saying that if they
I'll kick
did,
their ass if they even try it.
I was trying.
Okay.
I had a plan in place for how to filter people out. You guys demurred at that. The point is, we can't say you have to do anything.
We would like
Well, we
you
could
to.
say that,
We would like
and
you
if
to.
they wanted us to say it, we would. Like that's a thing. But they're not saying that. They're saying these are free.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm just saying,
Come
Blake
on
is
out.
trying to impose these draconian measures on people that are listening.
I want to do right by our sponsors.
But our people are good people, and they're going to show it. Like Justin, if you went out there, would you just grab a tray and leave, or would
Well,
you actually
No.
buy something? Come
No,
on.
absolutely not.
And we know that, but here's
Troy
what this
might.
is, and
Troy
this is the
would.
problem. You know how
Troy
like
absolutely
would.
you know how like
Look at Troy. That guy's going to eat some Whataburger.
you know how like cops end up having maybe slightly hot racial opinions at times because they're on the front lines of like how society has mistreated people based on race. I think Blake's issue here is that he's dealing with Angelo and he thinks everybody is just trying to freeload off of him at every turn. And he's like trying to keep him out like, no. I want him to show up, use the money, get the tray. But not everybody's trying to
Pretty beaten right now.
bilk you like
There's more Is
Big
this
Anges.
is this like Jackie the Joke Man, where there's a lot more going on than you tell us?
yeah.
Like Jackie the Joke Man used to text
Dude, that's a
Blake every
list.
day.
I know.
Jackie the Joke Man, Jenna Ryan.
Jenna Ryan. Yeah, we're Facebook friends now. Yes, I'm severely beaten by Angelo. I was not beaten by Jackie the Joke Man, who would send me a joke of the day. But this situation has just gotten out of control.
What are you going to do if you go out of town? What's he going to do? How's he going to celebrate the 4th? How much is
I
in his
don't know.
account right now?
Well, he lost his card.
Oh, no.
So,
That sounds like an AP, not an MP.
Yeah.
And you say, this is all now over. How would you, if you were Angelo, isn't that the thing you're really holding on to, like second to your phone, I think?
okay, and
This
I'm
is
not
this is a constant stream of free food,
My-
the likes of which I haven't gotten because I'm
know.
going to the High Tone Plate. He's going to like Bob's Steak and Chop House, and like he's
Yeah.
Listen.
He wanted 2 carrots.
I agree with Dan. It is his lifeline, but also I bet homeless people are losing shit all the time.
Well,
But they're not always on top of keys, wallet, phone.
this is funny because I started this to be a good person, and it's turned me into a way worse person. Because my first thought was like, dude, you have 6 possessions. How did you lose the biggest one?
that's what I'm saying.
Right.
So, no, I'm getting him a new card. So now I'm back to buying him food. It's just...
You're gonna get him an air tag with it.
No.
Like he's an orca that you tagged.
Yeah,
Oh,
that,
man, I wouldn't mind seeing where he goes.
yeah, you should air tag him. Next time
I'll
you see
give you
him,
the one in
tell
my
him-
wallet right now. I don't really use it.
Tell him this thing will keep you safe. It's magic. It's a magic bean.
So I told him I'd order him a new card.
He's flipping that air
I'll be
tag.
here in 2 weeks or something. He said, well, how much money will be on the card when you get it?
Yeah,
Because I think he's thinking, well, I might have $75 on it. I said, no, you'll have 25 on it because I'm also buying you food during this downtime.
And how are you doing that?
It's easy to order on apps.
Okay.
He tells me where he's at. Yesterday he was at
Jesus!
he's at a Whataburger in
What?
Dallas. I ordered. He knows to say Blake. The food comes to him.
Boys, though,
What are we doing?
Are you his
the drive to
emergency
Mount
contact
Calm
yet?
was just a therapy session for
He's
Blake.
just spilling all of
Had
his
to-
Angelo
yeah,
thoughts.
yeah.
So now is there
That was different. Okay, because it takes all of my strength to not change his order because the order's like
Well,
an
hold on.
effing idiot.
That's my question. Have you been like, hey, no bacon? Do you
Well,
ever have to rein
we-
him in a little bit?
Clayton and Henry and I, we came up that if he will send me, he sends me a recommendation for his order. Now, if McDonald's, which they do a lot, buy one get one McGriddles, or buy a McGriddle full price, you get the second one for $1. If that's available, that's what you're getting.
Yeah.
And so that's my new rule: is you can tell me what you want, I might get it.
if
but
there's,
if there's
a,
a better
value,
deal,
yeah.
I'm not paying for your $16 breakfast.
Right.
That's insane. With 3 hash browns.
Yeah.
Who does that?
I told you the second you
I
announced this.
know, Dan. I know. But we did come up with a pretty good exit strategy of it's not if, it's when I get tired and I just can't do this anymore. I'm going to tell him, I'm going to put a year's worth of money on your card and don't ever talk to me again. Now, that will be a fun experiment. So when he has $1,000 on the card, how are you going to spend your money then?
Dude. You know how.
But I'm interested.
It won't last a week.
I'm interested in that too. And you have to block his number.
I have to, yes, explicitly
like, that
say,
he can't text you.
here's a
like-
year. You can talk to me 1 year from now. I will not answer your calls, your texts. I'm not helping you anymore.
What if he comes
Here's
back
$1,000.
and
If
it's
you
like,
hit me back before 1 year from now,
I take the rest of the money?
something.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you can threaten that. But if he does hit you up, don't answer, no matter what.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
I
this
think
could be
Boy, then
great.
you're gonna run into him like on the
You
train.
could,
No,
or no. What
he
if
won't
he's
find
like? What if he's like Will Smith when he got that job in that sad movie? You see him
Pursuit of Happiness?
Yeah, you see him like a year from now. He's like,
Solving Rubik's cubes.
yeah, it's exactly. Or he's like leading a team at Community Mechanical or something, and he's just super squared away. It happens. But the likelihood is that he'll have like 3 days of living like Harry and Lloyd in Aspen. It'll be over. It's great.
What if he loses that? And then he's like the crypto dude
I
that
know.
lost the,
like
the
the-
jump drive with all
Oh,
the.
yeah.
He'll lose his mind.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I like this. I like it.
That's awesome.
So come on out to Whataburger.
Get your tray.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Community Mechanical, let's let them sponsor sports today because they may have Angelo working on a crew in a year from now. Not now, I'm pretty certain. All their crew seems very tall and
That's true.
very put together. They are our HVAC company. CommunityDFW.com is their website. They also have a phone number, which we will give you in a moment. But the main thing with that number, you can text, you can call. Travis they're huge on customer service. One of the things I talked about them when they were to them about when they were over here is just my old HVAC company actually was passed down from a dad to a daughter. And then when I called them and they were like, yeah, we'll be here somewhere between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. I'm like, okay, well, I got to leave for work, whatever. Can you just give me like a 3-hour window? And they're like, we can't do that. Apparently you worked with my dad and we do things different now. Like they're trying to be more efficient. And I'm like, guess, you know what I used to do for their dad? If he said I needed a new like I just bought it. I didn't ask him. And that's, you know what I mean? So
I do know what you
want
mean.
a good customer relation. I think that's what Community Mechanical is doing.
For sure, and we could talk about that part of it more later because I doubt that the family owned that company you were talking about anymore.
No, they did.
Oh, did they?
I'm very aware.
A lot of times these companies are sold.
No, I knew the old man
the old
and the daughter. No.
So it was just a lady issue, not the case with Community Mechanical. I've seen Travis get back to or answer the work phone during a Stars game. I have a buddy who we're going to see at a sit-in soon. His wife was trying to get bids for their house, and Community, for things fall through the cracks. They missed one. Guy reaches out to me. I send it to Travis. Travis gets back into the bid process. They get the business. The guy's coming to do a sit-in. They're going to take care of you. So the contact is communitydfw.com and the phone number, which he will answer.
4669 667 7219. HVAC for me, HVAC for you.
Yeah. Anyways.
That's the number, right?
It is. 469-667-7290.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Clayton, can you pull that announcement video up that I have in there? Just a real quick one. This is a story that we've been following and will continue to follow. It's the story of one of I know it's Dan's favorite college football player for this upcoming season. Play the video, Clayton. This is
Noah Kaniga.
Yes. Noah.
The viral high school.
Yes, he has arrived
players.
at Eastern Michigan, and now that you know what you're looking at, you can see his teammates.
Just want to be famous.
Teammates, 80% black, I would say. Have obviously think this is hilarious. His very white coach has a bullhorn and introduces him like a wrestler, fully leaning into his last name. If you had the ability to play it another time.
Noah Naysayer. Noah Naysayer.
How funny.
I have a quick
who's the first company to crack the code or solve the Rubik's Cube that is NIL money based on his last name?
Man.
What's
the company that
How
should?
can we do it?
Yeah.
Think about it.
Noah, please.
Yeah, something.
I have a sports quick hit before we get into some meatier NBA type topics. Saw a headline that said there was a mammoth trade made. Oh, I probably did that out of order. Because my question... So I'm reading about this mammoth trade. And it seemed to be with some hockey players. So I ruined... I didn't do the punchline correctly. Did you know there's a team in the NHL called the Mammoths now?
Yeah.
You did.
I did know
you
that.
would have, if I said, who's the Utah hockey team, you'd have said the Mammoths.
I probably would have said FC, but I do know that they did it for this season because I followed a controversy where a fan had the receipts claiming they had kind of created the logo they ended up using, and the team is like,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's a cool logo, too. It's an angry-looking... And mammoths are just sick, right? Like, that's a...
But why? Why Utah, I guess? I don't know. Did they just... you probably discover a mammoth anywhere.
Right, but
that
if I were to just ask you, dumb guy, United States, even though, like, you know, it was probably closer to, like, Pangea when mammoths existed, if I said, where in the United States right now, where would we find mammoths? Utah would not have been far down the list for me.
This is a guy with a master's degree. I can't keep up with that.
You wouldn't have said, like...
I wouldn't have put it anywhere on the list. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't have had the first guess on where a mammoth would be. Except to say, I think all the land used to kind of be connected, and then it broke apart. So, like, it could be anywhere. I don't know.
The Pangea
Like, a mammoth was pretty long ago, I think.
Long time ago.
Although, I think they have a new one in Texas, don't they? Didn't that company
That's part of the plan.
clone the woolly mammoth?
Yeah. It's... Dude,
And
I've
I wouldn't
wasted
see.
so
That's
much
why I
time
would
reading
never have
about
said.
that.
I would never have said Utah because I think of Utah as being hot. However, they did host the Winter Olympics once, blowing my mind. So I really,
I'm super like
not
this
sure
Utah is
where-
hot thing is confusing to me.
So it's not hot.
I'm sure it gets hot, but I mean,
It's not like in a hot climate. It's not the desert.
It's in the mountains.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't know where Utah is. I swear to God.
Well, it's like one of the. I could see
it
how
like-
you could confuse it with one of the other three that it touches, but
What's that?
New Mexico, Nevada, and
Hot.
Colorado. New Mexico's not hot all the time. This is the mountains. So,
Okay, anytime I've ever been there, it's hot.
like, I've been skiing there. If you're from
And I
Texas,
watched Breaking Bad. I never saw him skiing, and
Texas, that's
it always looked hot. In Breaking
New Mexico skiing. I went skiing in Utah. That's where I messed my butt up real bad.
Bad. Okay.
Very popular.
Okay. Nevada, that's hot.
Anyways,
That's totally hot, right? Lots of heat.
you
Anyway, the
can
Utah
ski there,
has a
too.
team called the Nevada. You can
Lake
ski in-
Tahoe.
You can
Can't you
ski in
ski
a
in
lake.
Lake-
How
can't
do
you
you
ski
ski
in Lake
in a
Tahoe?
lake?
Yeah.
Oh, water skiing.
No, there's a mountain there. God, boy, after announcing, enunciating, we can't do this. So what's the big trade? It didn't happen.
Oh, I don't know.
Was it
Some guy
hockey
from
thing.
Buffalo or something. I didn't know. I'm like, all
Okay.
right, cool. But again, it was a mammoth trade. I don't know if it was big or not.
Okay.
They
Got
did
it.
say
Now
it was a mammoth
You've
trade.
wrapped it all up for me.
Yes, but,
Jamie Benn is back.
Dude,
We talked about that a few weeks ago. Of like, well, what's his move?
it's very interesting. 1 year, $1 million.
Can earn up to 3. And I didn't know this, but the way, maybe it's like this in all sports, but the way that incentives are structured, if you earn them and you go over, they count on next year's cap. So his salary counts on this year's cap. But the incentives, for what it's worth, trying to build your team out, I mean, hell, $2 million's a lot if the base is 1. So, I don't know. And I have a weird thought in my, like, I don't know how I regard him right now. Like, I think he's awesome. I love watching him play. I love guys that are a little bit of shithead crazy, but he's just made some really dumb decisions for a guy who's the consummate purported leader.
It might be weird because he was an Art Ross trophy winner to now being, like Jared told us the other day, your Brad Miller matters. Your Travis Jankowski matters. So maybe he's just shifted into a captain that's just the room guy.
You can be a room guy, that's fine, but you can't be bad. It's not a I think he's been great at accepting his role. My question that I try to read smart hockey people or pay attention to what they're saying on is if he's even good at all as a third or fourth line center and penalty killer. Like, now if the number's that low, all you really have to just be is replacement level. But man, last year he just stuck out.
If he sticks out like that, and you're like, it'd be better to healthy scratch him on this night. Can you do that to the captain?
Well, that will be very interesting.
guess that'd be a good question for you to ask when you go to the press conference that announces this. Are they going to have a press conference? Maybe not.
That would be really weird, now that I'm thinking about it.
A press conference that I am interested in was Nico Harrison last night.
Dude, I paid no mind to the draft. Like, I put it on in the background for about 45 minutes, wasn't paying attention at all, happened to be up kind of late, and I think I saw Sam Gannon tweet, Nico Harrison scheduled to speak in 5. I'm like, well, yeah, I guess he's a GM.
Amazing.
I'm just so used to the idea that he's ducking everybody that I'd completely forgotten that a draft comes with a press conference.
Got an email from Carter, which is, he says pretty much how I was feeling last night. He says, I tried to give the Mavs a chance and watched the draft. Well, I didn't watch the draft. And I just can't do it. I still hate this organization until Nico's gone. Let's say they win the championship. Then we'll all have to look at that smug son of a bitch holding the trophy. Go Luka, go Lakers from Carter. I'm not to the point of, like, go Lakers. I just can't do that either. That's why this thing is really painful. You can't all of a sudden just start rooting for the evil empire that you've rooted against all these years. Even when your baby is on that team. It's really a weird feeling. And the feeling I have about the Mavs, I think a lot of people do share. As far as Kyrie is concerned, and I've seen some people say, oh, he's showing his belief in the organization because they're talking about a new contract. He has a 1-year player option he could pick up, but they're talking about like a 3-year extension.
Done.
It's done?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the $100 and whatever million extension, which, if I'm not mistaken, that extension would be pretty much the size of his 1-year option he was picking up times 3.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's taking some kind of a discount because he's a true believer in the – what Kyrie Irving is doing is the only thing Kyrie Irving can do. He could take the 1-year option, but teams are not just sitting around with $45 million of cap space.
Yeah.
Like, Kyrie Irving could not say, you know what? I don't believe in this organization. I'm not going to sign this contract. I'll go 1 year. And that would not work out well for him financially.
No, it's crazy. I mean, it's a basic financial decision that we all make. Like, if I said to you, I'll give you $10 now or $6 every day for the next 3 days, like, he didn't make a decision to give a discount. He made a decision to get guaranteed money, mitigate risk, and to do so traded some dollars back. But the media does this all the time. Like, when a player does that, they're always like, looking out for the team. I'm like, it's either the team or that he's like 34, both of his knees don't work, and somebody's willing to pay him $120 million to play basketball for the next 3 years.
Right.
I don't think he really – I mean, I'm not saying he's not a good dude and a team player, but when an athlete does that, the only reason they wouldn't do it is if they were betting on themselves, and he's clearly not in a position to do that.
And his style of play and who he is, I'm worried about that injury and him coming back.
As insane as it is, because we flipped as far from our thoughts on Kyrie whenever he first got here, when they extended him the first time, nobody else was going to do it, and they had to do it. And we were like, well, that's weird, but I guess that's how it is. Well, guess what?
They're in the exact same spot.
Nobody else was going to do this, and they would have been royally effed from a PR standpoint had they not. I would have traded him. I would have traded the entire team, other than PJ.
Once you did, Luka, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have
start over.
Now maybe this is a sign and trade. I would have done that. That there are teams that absolutely will give you real haul type assets for 3 years of Kyrie at this age, for sure. They may be like 20, 30 picks, but dude, right now, if the Mavericks wanted to, they could take Anthony Davis, they could take Kyrie Irving on this new deal, they could take Daniel Gafford because he can still be traded on his new deal at 3 for $54. they could go get, I'm not going to say a Thunder-type war chest, but those 3 players would net you over 10 first-round picks. I promise you that. You start throwing some other shit in there with it. Jaden Hardy's on his way out, whatever. P.J. Washington is here. Derek Lively is here. Cooper Flagg is here. And they can, if they want, run the draft for the next several years, but they won't. Because,
Because
everything they do now is like a saving face thing,
Right, and it has to be for win now because you were in the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
You were a win now team. So to make a move from there, you can't, unless it was announced, hey, this is all financial and we're stripping this whole thing down.
Right.
Which it was not. It was not about that. And I'm listening to Nico, and I'm just pissed. Anyway, let's go to the press conference. You know what? I'm just going to start it at the start so we can...
Thank you all for coming tonight.
All right, thank you all for being here. We're just going to have our general manager, Nico Harrison, just do a quick remark. All right, thank you all for being here. We're just going to have our general manager, Nico Harrison, just do a quick remarks, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Thanks, everybody, for waiting. I know it's been a long night. Gosh, what an exciting...
And is this the first we've heard of him since... Like, this guy is in such deep hiding because...
Well, since the lottery, they've just been they run Rick Welts out there. And
Jason Kidd's done a lot.
Their whole thing is a PR nightmare.
Matt Riccardi. Yeah, but they've been hiding Nico for sure.
Exciting night for the Dallas Mavericks franchise, for the fans, for the city of Dallas.
Just his voice pisses me off.
I'm just super excited.
It's worse when you see his face.
To get Cooper, it's generational talent.
I hate hearing that.
You shouldn't be allowed to use the word.
No.
Top to bottom, we're excited. So
Top
with that,
to bottom,
I'll open up the questions.
I hate how
And he opens up for questions right away.
I'll open up for questions.
That wasn't even like a 20-second opening. That was it. Like, he's good. And he's a generational talent. Like, okay. Gosh. And generational talent, that all remains to be seen. Many people say he is. What if you had one that was already proven? Like, only LeBron and Oscar Robertson were delivering better seasons in his first 5 years in the league. What if you had that? Can you imagine? Anyway, I'm pissed. I'll get some questions.
I'll start. Go ahead, Brad. I'll admit to him because there's been so much speculation. But
what position do you see him primarily playing?
It's funny. Jay Kidd and I have this joke.
Pause it. Last night, I paused my TV last night when I heard that. Like, there's no way. There's no way he's doing this again. Not after Cleveland. And he's got a little chuckle face.
It's funny. Jay Kidd and I have this joke. When the season's over with, he passes me the ball. And then when the season starts, I pass him the ball back. And so that would be a Jay Kidd.
Then how the fuck did Luka get traded? It was during the season. How did you end up with the ball? If it's supposed to be his team at that point, you just traded a guy mid-season, right? Like the main guy? It doesn't really hold here.
You got to settle down. I'm still laughing over the Jay Kidd Nico joke. Man, it must be a riot sitting with them at dinner.
Dude, you know the other thing?
These players they brought in for dinner.
Yeah, did you think that was funny? Oh, yes, I thought it was very funny. Nico, you're a funny guy. The thing I was thinking last night when I was watching this, just getting blood boiling all over again, because the guy really makes me want to hit him. My thought is just, like, I'm not, like, the most Riz guy in the world. Don't have aura for days. How did this guy swindle these fucking billionaires? This guy is a total chud. This dork.
I was thinking about that too.
This guy has no charisma, no aura at all.
I was thinking about that too, walking around. Like, how many times have you had a boss that just sucks, yet his boss, who's a bit removed from everything else, has no idea, and in fact, kind of thinks he's the reason everything's great around here. I know you've had that.
And it's crazy because I just assumed.
That's what this guy somehow has. He's like, no, we were in the championship last year. Nico.
I'm trying to think of there's been executives before that I got hoodwinked by because they talked a bunch of analytic shit and they were like, Sloan business or sports conference-y, and I've been fooled. But how is that guy getting the ear of a guy who, my understanding, owns the Chinese mafia through gambling, and he convinces him with that Patrick, are you busy this afternoon? I had an idea for a trade.
But really, he's a basketball player. He can handle the ball. He can shoot. He can make plays for people. He's a good passer. He's going to be on the floor. And the big thing is who can he defend? And he's a great.
See, he subtweets Luka the whole this whole press conference. He's subtweeting Luka.
He's going to be on the floor. And the big thing is who can he defend? And he's a great defender. So I think, positionally, I think you're going to see us play a different style of basketball with him and PJ on the wings.
It is interesting. You're looking at the roster construction, and it is kind of zagging if the rest of the NBA is zigging, right?
Definitely, yeah. The last two things I wrote were the last one was you got to play Flagg. You got to plant your flag at guard, especially with Kyrie out. But then the other one was they also just re-signed Gafford, which doesn't really make sense, but in their bizarro world, it kind of does. They're just a weird team because Anthony Davis sometimes is going to have to be the only big out there, like a lone five. All right, well, now there's Gafford.
And he's been very against that vocally.
He's very against it, but sometimes they need it. All right, well, now Lively, who's a ascending all-star, he's on the bench. Gafford's making $20 million. He's on the bench. You don't have any guards. Their roster's just it's huge, but the idea of them playing two bigs, Washington, Flagg, and Kyrie, that will be fun. I will promise you that.
And it makes
Kyrie's even back this year. Go ahead.
Post All-Star game. It makes you mad because in his mind, trading Luka got them Cooper Flagg.
Yeah, that he's going to get to that too, I think, or at least do you have the.
We're gonna get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've listened to this whole thing.
He believes that. I've said that since the night of the lottery.
Hold on. Let's hold. Yeah.
And then during his visit here, what was the most memorable part about getting to know him in person?
Honestly, I think it's really the way people talk about him.
See, and then he doesn't even answer this question either. It's just going to be about how his coach loved him.
About how he
and
talks about himself, but
other people liked him, and it's nothing to do with getting to know him at all. Relationship guy.
It makes it easier to coach everyone.
This is where I need Shoddy.
His teammates will say, "Best team I've ever had."
I'm right here,
most
man.
Competitive person, the GM of the team. It's like he's not entitled, so it's just like all the intangibles.
See, again, this is
that felt like a
subtweeting Luka
subtweet for sure.
All
Entitled.
of this.
Most competitive person, the GM of the team. It's like he's not entitled, so it's just like all the intangibles that he has is what really gets me excited.
Abby Jones, DLL Sports.
Yeah. Luka's entitled. This entitled little F who won't listen to me, the great Nico Harrison, who thinks that he should wait a little longer to make sure that injury is really healed so they can be ready for their playoff run. What an asshole. I got to get rid of this guy. He wouldn't listen to me. Basketball's Nico Harrison. Look it up in the encyclopedia. You'll see a picture of me next to basketball. Like, Jesus Christ.
You know what's weird about him using the word entitled is I don't have a problem with Anthony Davis. I think, in general, NBA players are the talent. Most of the time, their bosses are morons. But if you were going to use the word entitled, like, Anthony Davis's career would be it. Where, he just forced his way out of New Orleans and did bits while he was doing it. And then, he played center in L.A. for a few years, but was complaining about it the whole time, was complaining about it when he got traded, has made it known now, like, no, I'm a 4. That's pretty entitled to me.
Abby Jones, DLL Sports. LeBron James was kind of saying how rare it is that, a rookie gets to start his career with established Hall of Fame players. How do you think this is going to accelerate his development in the NBA?
I think it's actually awesome that somebody gets to, develop on their own time, whatever that is. And we have the support that we can allow him to develop on his own time. We'll be able to win when he's having good games, and also win when he's not having his best.
It's a bold statement. I don't know if it's going to work out that way, especially with the roster right now. If you want to say, yeah, but we're waiting for Kyrie. Again, when Kyrie returns, the Kyrie style of play, will it be exactly the same? I mean, I don't know. He is getting older.
No, probably not. But I
don't know if they're going to be good because also they're now counting on Jason Kidd to be the one to mix this magic potion and make them a good team.
I think whatever their over-under is right now, I will be taking the over.
All right, find that out, Blake, because I'll take the under right now. We're doing a bet right now for supremacy of the show.
Kind of building off what Abby said, it's a unique situation because number one picks don't typically join a team that's in a win-now window. How do you see things going in terms of him being a focal point versus, the vets, kind of being their team?
Yeah, I think when you really have a good culture, I don't think it matters like who.
This is I feel like this is more shots at Luka. Like somehow it's about culture, and he's going to try and tell us how their culture is so great.
I don't think this is a shot at Luka, by the way, but I do think it is a shot at Tim McMahon or anybody who has said like, "Hey, it ain't good over there."
Okay.
Who's the focal point? Who's the guy? I think if you're just playing and everybody's focused on winning, then it just kind of like the ball's going to find people and you're going to play. When he came here, 6 guys took him out to dinner the second night. So I just think, it's kind of unique for a team that didn't make the playoffs, and 6 of their players are taking the potential draft pick out to dinner. So I think our culture is a lot stronger than people realize.
Is that unique? I don't know.
I don't know.
He's
just such a dweeb.
I don't think it is
to him,
unique.
He's like, did you know there were 6 people at dinner? Like, okay, dude. It was 3, 10. I don't care.
Like, was everybody pissed when Zion was making his visit to New Orleans, and did they not treat him well? Did when there's like a consensus number 1 pick type thing?
He's reaching.
So I don't worry about the focal point thing. I think it's just really we're just gonna play basketball, and as he develops, as he progresses, I think his team
his cadence.
One of the things that he did a workout while he was here.
Everything about Nico Harrison.
Little rat.
PJ was there, and I said, "Hey, PJ, you think you guys can play together?" He's like, "Oh yeah, we can play together." So,
well, I guess everything's fine then.
Yeah, we had some fun. We had some fun in the group chat last night. I'm like, okay, well, like, what's he gonna say?
Right.
Like, well, we play the same position. He's probably and also I get the sense. I don't know this. I'm fanficking here a little bit. But I get the sense that, Nico goes up and they're shooting or practicing. He's like, do you think you could play with this guy? Isn't he great? PJ's like, yeah, Nico, he's the number 1 pick. I can play. I don't know. I just feel like they're tired of him too.
You know what? Before we continue on, because the really good stuff is coming up here in a second. But we got to plug Trident. One of our sponsors, one of our awesome sponsors. Oh, look at this. Let's see.
King of the seas and more. They fix your garage door. They always keep their calm. It's txtrident.com.
It's so bad.
So that's their website, txtrident.com?
Yeah, that's right. Trident C.
But I got a couple emails already from people who have... Did you see that?
I did.
People who have hooked up with Trident. Gotten new garage doors. They love it.
We're not advertising any sort of discount here, but I have seen the discounts have been given to Dumb Zone listeners. I've had receipts sent to me. So, at txtrident.com, tell the fellas that the Dumb Zone sent you. They'll help you garage doors, entry gate services. Customer service is top-notch with Trident. Good dudes over there. Veteran-run company, 817-512-1212 or txtrident.com. Tell Jeremy the Dumb Zone sent you.
Tell him you hate NACO.
Maybe just because it was in New York, but Cooper got asked if he had assurances that Jason Kidd was going to be the coach next season. you obviously brought up J. Kidd just a second ago. But since it keeps being asked, since the rumors are still out there, just wanted to see if you can conclusively say that J. Kidd is going to be the head coach next season.
Are there rumors still out there about J. Kidd?
It's funny.
I thought I shut him down.
I thought I shut him down.
He will be the coach next year.
I thought I shut it down. You know why people didn't know? Because the Mavs didn't say a goddamn thing for 3 weeks.
You had to hide.
You were in hiding. No one said anything. There should have been an immediate statement that Jason Kidd is our coach. He's under contract, and of course he's going to be the coach. But there wasn't.
No.
And that's why this became a story. It's J. Kidd. That's so funny. God, I hate them both. But I especially hate Nico. Just get rid of Nico, and I'll sign Kidd up to a lifetime contract.
Did you see the story that Sean Sweeney didn't want to leave Kidd's staff? I mean, he's been with Kidd for a long time. And the Mavs didn't match money in years, I guess, because he's still an assistant now in San Antonio. The reports where he wanted to stay, that everybody's bummed he's leaving. But I don't think he's alone.
Okay.
I think Nico has attempted to, and maybe successfully for the moment, leapfrogged Kidd.
As far as what?
Power.
Oh, I think there's no doubt about that. The interesting thing is that he still remains there because he leapfrogged him to make that Luka trade. Because certainly we don't like.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't believe a thing these guys say. The whole organization.
Hey, their lips are moving. They're lying. Grandpa.
Nico over here. You had mentioned in past press conferences about trades that you've made or deals that you had done to kind of win now. But getting a player like Cooper, I would imagine, changes it. So how does it change your kind of operation moving forward in terms of how you see this team, not only in the next year or two, but how you're going to build it?
This is where we're going to get to the statement of the night.
Things. I think it's win now. It's also win in the future. And we don't know when eventually it's going to be Cooper's team. We don't know when that transition will happen. So I think it's win now and then set yourself up to win in the future as well.
It's coming.
Nico right here. My name is Joey Machado with Clutch Points. My question is, heading into the NBA draft lottery, 1.8% chance you guys win the lottery. What is your initial reaction, and just how surprised were you when you found out you guys won the lottery?
Yeah, I was extremely surprised. All my draft prep up to that point was, us being in the 11th position. So,
number one, I'd like to see that. Let's see your notes. Let's see all the prep you did for the 11th pick in the draft.
All my draft prep up to that point was, us being in the 11th position. So, that's just. But, things happen. Fortune favors the bold. So exciting things fell our way.
That is not how that works.
Yes, you're right. You said it immediately too when the trade happened. Yes, he's saying, or maybe when the Cooper Flagg thing happened, when you knew they'd get the number one pick. He is putting in his mind, I am bold. I made this move, and I'm rewarded for it. And you could make an argument. I wouldn't do it. But you could make an argument that Luka for Anthony Davis and Cooper Flagg is a fair deal. It's a more fair deal.
Sure.
For sure, because, and this is the big problem with Anthony Davis, is the future. You got a guy that's 10 years older than one of the other guys. And heavily injury prone even when he wasn't this age. So that's the whole argument. That's why it's such a horseshit trade from the beginning, is that, you're anyway.
Yeah.
But yes. So I still wouldn't do that deal. I would not do Anthony Davis for Cooper Flagg because Cooper Flagg is still a question mark. I'm not positive. I'm positive about this guy and what he means to the city already, what he means to us, what we've already been through. Again, it's like when my wife first learned about it, and she never watches any sports, but she said, he brings so much joy to us. He brings joy to the city. He brings joy to those around him. Yes, just viewing him gives you a warm feeling.
Sure.
And he's not this, and Anthony Davis just sucked. Anthony Davis is the Impractical Jokers Luka Doncic is. I can't say
the
dude
boys
perfect.
Or Stranger Things.
Children's Hospital.
Let's try to get something that we all love. Is there anything? Is a big jugged.
Is Sydney Sweeney?
Yeah.
No, but the brass tacks is they didn't trade Luka for Anthony Davis and Cooper Flagg. They traded him for Anthony Davis because that's who he wanted. And yeah, I think now he's the type of megalomaniac or just asshole.
Like the universe rewarded me.
Exactly. Who has, you see everything through, like you're the main character all the time. So I'm not surprised that he thinks that at all. I don't think it's all religious people. I don't think it's just a religious thing. I think this happens I think not religious people do this as well. But I do know that he thinks from I'm rewarded by God for my struggles. But to my recollection, Job didn't murder his kids.
Job didn't really ask for it.
Job was
Nico
like, why does this keep happening to me? Where it's like he views himself in that way, but I don't know. Maybe I got to reread that book.
Just a couple more. I'm not going to play the entire press conference again.
Thank you.
I played the first 5 minutes there just to show you how mad I got throughout the whole thing. But a couple more things.
It actually wasn't that long.
No, it's only
12,
15
13 minutes.
Yeah. But again, this is the one that's going to come out of it. That
fortune favors the bold.
Unbelievable. What was this that I marked?
Nico, piggybacking off that, are you hopeful, optimistic that by drafting Cooper, some of the anger that had been directed at you personally will subside now?
I'm hoping so. I'm assuming so a little bit, maybe.
No,
that's it?
No, that's not. No, why would it? That's the thing. Okay, so if you're
because of the great move I made.
Yeah.
Look at this cool pick. I scouted this guy. I found Cooper Flagg. Who else knew?
Dude,
about this guy?
So if you're the mafia or the cartel or the Taliban or whatever, and you're gonna fuck people's lives up, what you do is you give them food and you have them running water or their lights on or something. You have to do something to try to be that poor of stewards of them. He's acting like he's giving us Cooper Flagg because he took Luka away.
Yeah.
The question is about, do you think people will chill out now because you are drafting Cooper Flagg? Well,
why would they? Why would I now be like,
why they're mad is
now
because of trading Luka. This doesn't address that at all. It's really weird to me that he's looking down, be grateful. Be grateful of what I've done for you. As an aside on the be grateful thing, my gummy thought watching the lottery last night was just, unless you believe it's rigged, unless you believe that there's some sort of sleight of hand going on with the accounting firm and the NBA, I know we all get it. Where you get drafted matters a lot. There's a ton of guys, quarterbacks, who would have had great careers if they'd been drafted to other teams. I'm sure of it. Do you know,
Johnny,
how lucky Cooper Flagg is to end up here instead of Washington or Charlotte? From just how happy am I for the next 20 years of my life? I know he's going to have all the money, but that's already you know that. So what else? Well, if you play for Washington, probably everything sucks all the time. Probably Charlotte's not that far off. A 1.8% chance that he ended up here, which is you got to give to them, an extremely unique situation for a first overall pick to be going into.
And this last cut,
he got very lucky,
is definitely subtweeting Luka.
Nico, you talked in the past about having players who fit to the culture and having players who add to the culture. Can you talk about a way?
It sounds like young, fake Peter King.
Okay.
Are you with me on that? Let's see.
Nico, you talked in the past about having players who fit to the culture and having players who add to the culture. Can you talk about a way or two you feel that Cooper adds to the culture and helps move it forward?
I think the biggest thing is he's a two-way player.
That's my thing.
When you watch him play, he plays hard.
That's not
And when
culture.
you have a guy that does that, that makes basketball plays, again, when you talk about
like, if that's okay because he's a good player, that adds to the culture. Okay, well, again, that
and
is
both ways.
But he's subtweeting Luka throughout this thing, and yes, when he says quick answer is he's a two-way player. That was the thing you said when he was going out the door.
Yeah.
Is that Anthony Davis is a two-way player. He plays defense. And I know that's what wins championships because look behind me at all the trophies I have.
Yeah, and Kyrie Irving doesn't really play a lot of defense, and Klay Thompson.
Oh my gosh!
I don't. So we pick.
Where's Klay fit on this team?
That one is very strange. It doesn't. You know why? Because he was acquired to play on a roster led by Luka.
He's probably thinking, man, if I had taken the Lakers offer, I would now be next to Luka.
And not even on the same half of the court as Luka. Like, if Luka's over here, you go stand in the opposite corner.
Yeah, we're kind of
stand
trying
on
to
the
get
opposite
you,
wing.
trying to get you out of the way as much as we can here, Klay. He started every game he was available in, too. I forgot that.
Mm-hmm.
I, for some reason, had thought maybe there was a little bench time now.
Interesting. You want to do viewer mail?
Sure.
Do you want to do it brought to us by One Day Doors and Closets?
Yes. Yes, I do.
One Day Texas.
Dude, you don't got to play.
Promo 30 get you a free door when you buy door. One Day Doors.
What was that?
One Day Doors.
What's the website again?
OneDayTexas.com.
I just sang it.
/promo 30. OneDayTexas.com /promo 30. That's a BOGO for doors.
Fully finished.
Fully, not half.
Cabinet grade paints. Man, I hate. You ever look at a door with not cabinet grade paint and you're just pissed?
I was looking at one the other day.
I would get an axe and I would do like a shining thing to it. I would
what I
just
did?
rip that door apart right away.
I punched fist right through it. That might have been the game day, but I said I know these doors did not come from.
Yeah,
One
and
Day
you shouldn't
Doors
do
and
that
Closets.
when you're not at your house.
Because
luckily
these
you
doors are thick.
Yeah.
Thick. They'll use their 3D measuring technology right outside your home. They make the blueprint. They cut them there.
That's what the girls like, thick.
Is it good? Yeah, sure. 30 to 50% off big box stores. Any kind of doors. What do you like, a bifold over there? I bet you would.
I don't even know what that is.
OneDayTexas.com /promo 30. Great gift idea is what I've been told. People aren't thinking about upgrading their own doors, but you can bring them a girthy door with One Day Texas doors.
All right.
Hey, everybody. It's time to answer some of today's viewer mail.
Emu Tom sent some actual snail mail here. And this is viewer mail, but it is an award for Blake. The 2024-25 Doak Walker Award, Blake Run the Ball Guy Jones from End Zone to the Dumb Zone.
Okay, yeah, we'll clap for that, sure.
It's an actual
Thanks.
I love the tagline.
solid, yeah.
Did you vote for this?
Yes, that one I do vote on. Yeah, and I submitted that tagline, from the end zone to the dumb zone.
Well, thanks.
I got one from Clark. I don't think this is the guy that saw Dan at the hardware store, because Dan did actually meet a listener at the hardware store when he was doing some hardware store walking. But Clark emails, because we'd also talked about my weight vest, and I told you, for walking, you might as well. If you're walking for half an hour, why not just get 25% more out of it? I put like a shirt on over it usually. But Clark says, Dan with a weighted vest on at Home Depot these days may look... There's a tactical feel to the vest, and I think if you just showed up looking as Aryan as you do at Home Depot with
Why is that bad? That's not bad here in Texas.
It's not...
I'd be celebrated.
No, but you may be run away from. You may...
That'll be perfect, because I'm talking on the phone.
That's right, because you're calling your mom about the weather in Ohio.
Yeah.
Oh, Jeff, our good friend Jeff Frank weighed in. Did you know he also took 2 semesters of bowling at Texas State from the same lady I did, bowled at 233. I told you guys I got to a 238. Talked with Jeff a little bit about this. Not a bowler. So I'm telling you, if you just go throw that many games, you can probably clock something in the mid-200s. Just luck.
That's high.
Oh, I don't want to hear it, Mr. 277.
Well, yeah, but if you're throwing a straight ball, it's hard to throw 13 great balls.
It is. That's why it's a numbers game. You just bowl a lot. Like, you've probably bowled over 200 a dozen times.
Yeah. But,
I mean, hate the way he said that.
Yeah, I mean, of course. You know.
Yeah.
I'm Blake.
Yeah.
East Texas Paul says he found out where Shoddy is getting his media advice from a movie called Zootopia. You familiar with Zootopia?
Yes.
And he sent us a clip.
Okay, press conference 101. You want to look smart, answer their question with your own question, and then answer that question. Like this. Excuse me, Officer Hops. What can you tell us about the case? Well, was this a tough case? Yes. Yes, it was. PC?
You should be up there with me. We did this together.
Well, am I a cop? No. No, I am not.
What can you tell us about the animals that went savage?
Well, the animals in question, are they all different species? Yes. Yes, they are.
He also says
that movie sounds like trash.
Well,
it's
it sounds like you haven't seen it, but Blake has.
Yeah.
You like it?
You can answer this question. Paul says, also, where does Officer Hops rank among cartoon hots?
I mean,
I got sent this for viewer mail.
Yeah. That's a hot fox, no doubt, fellas.
Which, it's implied, right? I mean, if it's a fox can't be ugly. It's a fox.
Right.
Like, guys must have thought foxes were good looking in the past. Why
That's
would
a
you
great
say
point.
A fox?
I mean,
that's a good point.
There's no reason that it ever would have become a thing for women if there wasn't a guy who wanted to nail
bone a fox. Yeah, he's looking at a bunch of animals there.
God,
and
that one does look
pig,
a little different over there.
There's a horse.
That one I could see it.
There's a fox. Ooh.
I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, that's an interesting way to think about it. What's like cute as a button? You ever look at a button and
oh my God,
boy.
look at that button. I'd love to do something to that button. Let's see here. Marcus says, I named both of my sons Marcus, which is my first name.
Okay.
Blake was talking shit about that. Tell him to have 2 sons, then decide if it's weird.
Yeah, it didn't cross my mind for 1 second to name them both the same name.
That never.
Then he says, full disclosure, it may have been out of laziness. Also, my 2 girls have the same middle name.
Laziness? It's not building a house. You just.
I also don't think of myself as awesome enough to give him my name twice.
Yeah,
Side note, my car got cheesed 6 months ago.
Yes.
While I was parked, it was a nightmare to clean the melted cheese off.
Yeah.
I office out of Grapevine. That's where the incident occurred. I honestly think there's a 25% chance Jake did it, or it was one of his followers.
My followers, yeah. I just got my disciples.
Your little army.
Game day may be turning back the clock, and you might be turning back into Richland, Jake. So cheesing is not out of your game.
I did have an AR firing at dynamite the other day.
Yeah.
That's very funny. No, I can't imagine naming a kid the same thing twice, or the same thing as me. So that's
on the OJ book.
Boy,
Jess Walker, hot name. Is that a dude?
It's almost certainly a dude. Yeah, I've been careful about that one.
And he's a good dude.
Yeah.
I want to think of it as like if Jess starts like DMing me and stuff.
Problem.
We're gonna have some You and me will have sex, bro. I'm into it.
Yeah.
Your name is Jess.
I almost showed up at
I don't care.
Cassie's house.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, man. I was like,
Dear Butcher
hold on.
of the Beef Curtain.
Cass's spare apartment.
Gotta go delete all my emails.
All right, it has to be asked plainly. Does Blake actually think OJ didn't do it? I mean, I get that he read that ridiculous book. Congratulations on your literary milestone.
Man.
But if he's seriously fuzzy on the case, he needs to carve out 8 hours and watch OJ Made in America. It's basically required viewing for anyone with a fantasy football team and a shred of white guilt. If this book convinced him OJ's innocent, I suggest he slides into Casey Anthony's DMs next. Then they can discuss the dangers of being wildly misunderstood over dinner. More Kemp et al. More Julie Never Punt from Jess.
Did he attach the audio of his segment breaking down who he thought did the case? If so, I'd love to listen to it.
You know, he did tell you just watch the OJ
I'll carve
documentary.
out a third of my day to watch this documentary.
We've all seen it, actually, I believe. And yeah, I think the main thing to me about that situation was it's enough of reasonable doubt, right? Like the fact that they didn't talk to the son at all is very glaring to me. And it would have been nice to be able to rule that out.
Yeah, sometimes I think they do that.
Of course.
Just to check it off and say, just to show that we did it.
That it wasn't in this case does give it some oxygen to me. The part that was really messing me up was the watch. Because I don't know. Like, okay, so they say her watch hit the ground, and that's when it stopped. That's where the time was.
Yeah, 9:59.
Which would have been... OJ would not have been there at that time.
It's on the phone.
But, like, in my head, I think, okay, well, that makes sense. Last night, I'll talk more about this tomorrow, the Karen Reed doc. Well, they had a piece of hair on a car, right? It was in a car accident. They towed that car in a blizzard for, like, 2 hours. And we're supposed to believe the hair was still there.
On the outside of the car.
Yeah.
Oh.
And everyone was saying, like, obviously a piece of hair would have flown off the car. It's going 60 miles an hour. It's a blizzard. And, like, yeah, intuitively you would think so, but I'm not a scientist. You know what I mean? I actually have no idea. Maybe the force of the wind presses it against. You never, like, left something on your windshield wipers before and gotten home and, like, how is that still there? So, I don't know, just stuff like that where you're like, oh, the watch broke, but can it move some after you fall type thing? Like, they just sometimes put these pieces of evidence forward that at first glance you're like, well, that's it. And then also, I don't know anything. So.
Garrett writes about Whataburger. Have we mentioned we're going to be at Whataburger July 8th? Tuesday, July 8th.
Never a bad time.
We're giving away... You know what? I'm going to go down in my car and get
I think we're good for
here it is.
Today, but...
The Whataburger / Dumbzone car tray to celebrate 75 years in the biz. They're giving away 75 of these babies at the remote.
And you have to eat 75 French fries to get one.
You don't have to do anything. You do have to be there.
You do have to be there. Or... be square.
Okay. Yep.
That's some gold, bro.
I've got one from our couple in Alaska.
Yeah.
Who checked in on our muskox, Acadia, and sent us a picture and found Acadia, took the tour, and says she's doing great.
Is this the one? So this is what Plashley bought us, right?
Yes. Plashley, as closing remarks gift, bought us a muskox in Alaska. And Christian took his family, took a tour, and said Acadia's doing great.
Yeah, and he rolled on some audio, and I was going to play it.
I've got it.
Okay. I couldn't find like a clear part, but I do want to talk about it.
I want to play one just little part, because it's tours being led by some chick, and, of course, none of our people can just let someone do their job easily and tries to turn it into a ghost tour laugh.
They're only about 15 to 20 pounds when they're born. They look like little boxes hopping around.
He's forcing. You can tell. Okay, so I want people to start thinking of this. If you're in a situation where you know you're going to be on one of these tours, start rolling.
Roll and see what
start
you can
rolling. Because the worst thing, especially if you're me or Blake or Dan, when you roll too late, like I had a situation yesterday at the dance show-off thing where if I wish I rewind life 20 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
What this lady just said was hilarious,
Yeah.
but me telling it, not so much.
That's why we got to roll it all. We got to be like a Cybertruck.
Recording at all times?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I never got to Garrett's Whataburger point.
Oh, I never got to what so that's the muskox is from Plashley.
Oh.
Just want to give these are also from Plashley. These are Lucas socks, Mavs socks. I've given away every Mavs thing I have. So I figured we just keep these in the den.
Okay, we actually because Whataburger gave us some socks too.
I know we're gonna keep socks.
I got
now
Yokiero
for
socks.
People who come up here for den attendees, for Andrew den attendees.
Although, did you think I was a puss because the Whataburger guys were here yesterday and I didn't tell anyone to take their shoes off?
Yes, I thought you were a puss, and yes, I would have done the same thing, and knew you were going to do just that.
They were like bigwigs with the company.
Yeah, you got cut hard.
And I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna ask. I really.
Can I shine
do I
those
even
for
care?
you, Mr.
I've
Burger?
lived here 10
Mr.
years.
Burger, can I shine your shoe?
Garrett's point was, he says, how do the people at Whataburger feel about Jake calling them Waterburger? Waterburger. Do you say Waterburger?
Don't know.
Garrett's up your ass here, bro. What are you going to say to him?
I love you.
I'd love to see you kick his ass. Are we doing it at fight night?
Yeah, man. I'd love to fight at fight night. God, that'd be fun.
Do you think they'd let you?
I do not. I wish I could fight Cat.
That seems discrimination.
That would rock.
I've got one from Clayton.
I want to fight somebody I could easily beat. So, like,
a child.
Do you have any
a
old
person.
ladies? Old ladies working?
Do you think Dan would have an easier? And this is not. It's not really funny anymore because Dan's in shape.
Hell yeah, bro.
But do you think Dan would have a better chance against a super jacked male little person or a pretty jacked female 85-year-old?
85-year-old. Or do you think just the physics of it?
She's bigger. She's not huge, but I'm going to say she's like
85, though?
75.
Ooh, you just dropped 10 years off that.
Well, I'm reading the market here, right?
Okay.
We get our yeses and nos. 75, dude.
I still think any 75-year-old woman
you could just kick the living piss out of.
Anyone.
Bash
even
her
the
head
toughest 75-year-old woman. You agree with that?
Pulling her head up so all of her friends at Keno can see it as you're just mashing her face into the pickleball court.
Like, what's your first move with the little dude? Are you just kicking at it, or?
Well, yeah,
dude. The first move is you're going to be like, whoa, you're going to be backing up, running around.
Probably
like, what's
a lot
he doing?
of kicking, but
what's he doing?
The length advantage is what I'd have to.
Yeah.
But
dude, at some point he's just going to be like a little
bull rush you,
super coordinated dog.
Yeah, no. That's why I got to go the lady, and then who knows? Maybe me and the lady just.
It's possible, but
start
again,
getting into it. That's how I'll beat her, with my charm.
Just disarm her and subdue her.
Before you know it, we're just doing it.
Dude, you would too with little Michael McDonald or some yacht rock or some shit. She's like, all right, let's relax together.
Mine from Clayton is something about Madden, and we're 2 weeks away from the new NCAA, which I'm very stoked for. The new Madden has potential because Madden is going to lose the exclusive rights to be the only NFL video game this year. So they're putting a lot more. Oh, dude, they are just throwing everything they have at the wall.
This was so good back in the day. It was like 989 came out live. Whoever was making live was NBA.
Yeah, NFL Fever was good. 2K was great. Madden, we had a really good run for a while. So Madden is doing their best to keep the license.
Who's making the other one? Do you know?
For what?
If there's going to be another NFL game, do you know who's making it if it's not EA?
I would imagine 2K gets back into it, but I don't know. But one of the signing points for Madden is true-to-life gameplay, yada, yada, yada. Coach DNA informed by real NFL coaching trends. Madden NFL gameplay is built from Sundays. Clayton points out, we haven't quite seen the tendencies of shoddy. Maybe the new Madden will have the players break out into a ping pong tournament during the game.
Yeah.
Or you could see him at dinner with one of your favorite players.
buying the meal. And then
yes, he's buying.
Yeah.
He's got the Cowboys credit card.
Yes, it says Jerry Jones on it. My last one is a bad beat. This from Ryan. And Jake, you may have played this game before. But Ryan said that a really bad beat of his was the BMX XXX game.
That sounds familiar.
Whose cover is on your screen now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And just a really hot female undershirt, really tiny pink shorts. They have her nipples showing for some reason. But he said the bad beat actually came in the game whenever you, so to speak, put in the cheat codes and unlocked all of the naked cyclists. So put up the second picture. They would just have
tits out,
and I don't know. I just found
doing handlebar tricks.
Yeah, I just found one that
with that
covered,
boxy Tomb Raider animation.
But it just had you could just bike with a naked female.
Yeah, this is prime.
Like fulfills your Laura Croft fantasy.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you got box boob. Go back to the cover. This game came out when I was in high school. And this is the type where you go to Blockbuster with Chappie, and you're all three walking around, and you just walk by, and he happens to have that one. He's just kind of looking over his glasses at him. Like, Dad, what are you doing in the video game section? He's like, what is this one? Turn it around. What is this one? You're an old man. Put it down. Yeah, those were the days for sure.
That's what we had.
All right.
Got any gummy thoughts? Those would be brought to us by
Early Bird.
Yeah, Early Bird CBD, which right now is riding a high.
Dubs up.
It's been a rocky road. Now, you've always been able to get your Early Bird CBD, which has THC in it. That's why we are on board with Early Bird CBD.
That's right, which means it works. It also means don't take it if you have a drug test coming up that you have to pass. But if you're good to go on that, then go get 20% off using the promo code DZ20 at earlybirdcbd.com. earlybirdcbd.com, DZ20. Maybe you've used the old promo code before. It's a new one, DZ20.
So you can't use this one if you've used the old one, you're saying?
Maybe you've used the old one.
Maybe you used DZ15. But now you can use DZ20.
Okay, so even if you have saved before. Mm-hmm. Wow. I can't even believe this.
Yeah, I wasn't registering your shock at first, but now that I play the tape back, you were just like in awe. And that's why.
I wasn't aware they were allowed to do that.
Early Bird stays winning. It's a Texas company, and we're big fans. So put a smile on your face at earlybirdcbd.com. I did have the one about just how crazy it is that Cooper Flagg's life gets to not suck now because he's not a wizard. I had the one the other day. I told you guys. Somebody at one point said something to me about, like, one thing that bothered them about America is that in all of our pride, we sometimes won't take stuff from other countries that's good because we're like, oh, it's theirs.
What do you mean?
Like ideas. We're resistant to things like nationalized healthcare or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Or the other way. Like, for me, there are, or let's say in general, people might say that America's got a little bit of an authoritarian bent right now. There can be fun things about authoritarianism. Like I said, every city should have a set of colors for their sports teams, and it should be mandated. I think the government should be way more involved in uniforms. Flat out.
In sports uniforms?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a sort of thing that if you... And, like, I'm only sort of kidding because other countries do actually do... In Japan, they have, like, campaigns where each... not province, but, like, small cities or whatever will, like, have a mascot competition where they create a mascot that represents the values of that. They do a lot more... like city-to-city competition shit. And I feel like in Europe, in particular, they only really have one sport that they're really stoked on. their basketball teams will wear the same colors and be called the same thing as their soccer teams. But over here, we got like 3 or 4 of them. I think it should be uniform.
So you must love Southlake.
And I think they should also, you know what it does?
Because every
I don't love
school
it. I hate it.
The Dragons.
But it makes me hate it. What I don't have is no reaction to it. You know what I mean? Because they generate passion. I think the divisions, it's going to get a little tricky because right now we have an uneven number of teams across leagues. But after my second term in office, there will be the same number of teams in all 4 sports, the same cities, the same divisions, and that's it. We'll have an even distribution. There'll be 30 cities that have teams, and we'll play, and you'll have...
So you're not going to have a city with just a basketball team?
No more. That will no longer exist. But you'll have...
So do we put these teams in San Antonio, or do they lose their team?
There can be... Yeah, we're going to have to get tricky. Like the Saints are probably going to San Antonio type thing, or you're going to have to get creative regionally.
How many
Pelicans
cities
are probably going to have to not exist.
How many cities do have uniform? I can only think of Pittsburgh.
Seattle kind of has it, and it feels very Pacific Northwest, the Cascadia with the Seahawks and the Mariners, and I believe hockey now, right?
Yeah, the Kraken
is the same
changed to that.
colors. So
now, will the Grizzlies and the Titans are pretty close.
The Grizzlies and Titans, that is sort of, and that's a good one, but that falls squarely into the 90s colorways. And basically just if your city got 2 expansion teams, you were going to get 2 colors like that. Because if you look at any color of the expansion teams in the 90s, they're all that same non-primary, I don't even know what they're called, but it's the Diamondbacks, it's the Rays, it's the Grizzlies, it's the old Raptors, it's the Titans, it's the...
Did you say Jaguars?
Jaguars. That color, that shit is disgusting. And we need to fire it into the sun and just treat it like it was a bad trend. But the Grizzlies just ended up having 2 teams that moved there in the 90s, so they got 2 awful color palettes.
So in these sports mandates that you are going to institute...
These are definitely gummy thoughts, too, by the way.
Yeah. In your second term, are you going to have... you think the billionaire owners should spend their own goddamn money to build their stadiums?
That's right,
Was that Bill Simmons?
I think billionaires should build their own goddamn stadiums.
All right, fellas, let's take a break.
Okay.
The Dumb Zone.
At the Kessler Theater in historic Oak Cliff, Texas, it's a Skylark Soul Company showcase presented by Josie Records, featuring Paul Shalda. We'll also have the world premiere of his new video, Joey, a beautiful, soulful collaboration with Adrian Quesada. Plus, the funky, bluesy, soulful sounds of Michael Lee and the Wartime Limousine. Your boy Luke Sardello will be on the decks, and we'll have a Josie merch pop-up with a very unique opportunity to score Daniel Bayless's new project, Sir Daniel Esquire. A sound that exists somewhere between Chet Baker and Radiohead. Vibraphones, vintage synthesizers, and space-age exotica propped up by ancient drum machines. Don't miss this incredible night. Get your tickets right now at thekessler.org.
Is somebody in there? Sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Sir!
I don't know if I'm okay.
Can you get out for me?
I'm hurting. Let me get my phone. I gotta call somebody.
All right. Yeah, we're calling
Before you call the insurance company, call Frankel first. Frankel and Frankel. Call 2.
Huh.
Hello, friends. I'm Jake Kemp.
Hello, I did hear.
Okay. Okay.
Blake will cut that out.
You're listening to The Dumb Zone.
Will I?
Or will he? You cannot trust Blake. That Dumb Zone, or excuse me, that Whataburger remote that we're going to do, the 8th, at El Dorado in the Tollway, is that Luca Day?
No.
I thought Dallas did Luca Day on 7-8.
7-6.
Oh. Why would...
There was this...
I know the shooting was on 7-7.
No,
so
it's
somehow...
because that is taken.
Okay, so I thought they just did it the next day. You're saying they did it the day before.
Because Leon Let Day. That got a lot more than I expected or deserved.
I liked it. It's good.
A lot more.
You guys want to do news?
Let's do it.
It'll be brought to us by Fairlease.
With the dumbzone.org.
Fairlease.org. Travis from Community Mechanical actually texted me. That's right. I'm on a text basis with Travis. Just thought I would let you know we're up to 5 Fairlease vehicles
Good
now.
Lord.
So this shows if you're a...
They may not
He
have
just said
any
it's
left.
a great deal. He said they bought us out of 2 of our D&M leases. We've gotten 3 new vehicles from them directly. Saved us about $1,000 a month combined moving from D&M. So there you have it.
Folks.
A businessman who he's like, if we're going to buy lease our fleet of vehicles, the best deal we can get is at fairlease.org. So if you don't believe me, and you shouldn't, believe Travis at Community Mechanical. Why not go to fairlease.org? You can shop for your car wherever you are right now. Now, if you happen to be in a car dealership, that seems a bit redundant.
It would be redundant,
but you don't have to go to
also like if you want to go stun on them. I don't hate that. Like you go to a car dealership, be like, no, I'm good.
And just shop on your
what's your Wi-Fi? And just buy it from Fairlease at the dealership. Hell, have Fairlease bring the car there.
Yeah, they'll deliver it wherever you want. Damn.
We're here to help you make plays. On Friday, Dan, out at Possum Kingdom Lake, which was actually where the wife was over the weekend. You know that they've glowed up Possum Kingdom?
What do you mean?
They have like a resort there. Like a legit, I think the Ticket Compound might have been there.
Okay.
It's like a nice, sick, on-the-water resort. The other thing they have out there
They've done everything at the Ticket since we left. They do the indoor events now.
I know.
They do go to an awesome place for the camp out. We were like intense. We were outside. I was outside with the bugs.
I know.
And the elements. Like back in my day, I had to walk to work.
Yep.
Now people are driving to work.
I think they kind of like pay producers now too.
They're doing podcasts.
Crazy.
In fact, I forgot in viewer mail, gotten a lot of viewer mail about the Ticket doing a podcast, and I've decided I will address this on tomorrow's episode, a paid episode. I want it to be behind a paywall.
Wow!
If you want my exclusive thoughts on
response
on what the what I think about the Ticket allowing podcasts now for their host and promoting it. You will hear that exclusively tomorrow. Not today. You couldn't pry it out of me today. Unless
I was trying to muster up a fart, and I was just gonna fart into my headset and say that's my response, and that's what I got.
Can you muster a fart?
I honestly, I was about halfway there and thought this could go poorly.
Could be a poo.
Yeah. And you know, it's time to call off the dogs there. So back to Possum Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
They have a resort there. It's nice. They also play a lot of youth baseball out there. You guys know that Rockin' Bee place, or is that what's it called? Do y'all know about that?
I don't.
There's a place out there where Rocker Bee Ranch. We did a story on it once, but it's like the most over-the-top youth baseball and softball. Like, they've got 20 fields. It's luxury. They got a water park.
Really?
They might have a hotel.
Okay.
They've got, dude, I'm talking
I think we have talked about it, haven't we?
This place is insane.
Cool place for tournaments.
It's the place.
Yeah. John Rocker owns it?
Yeah. It was a late career late career shift for him.
Were you surprised to see that he hopped on Twitter like he's like the new
OJ?
What was he talking about?
He's like Kurt Schilling.
No, that was called off.
I know. I think it was fake.
John Rocker. Who's
College
the other?
World Series or something?
Who's the guy with
Chipper Jones is
real hardcore right wing
baseball? Help
I'm
me.
Trying to remember. San Francisco Giants. Not Brandon
Aubrey Huff.
Aubrey Huff,
yeah.
Played with, I think, intern Carlos. He was on his high school team or something.
Back to Possum Kingdom.
Sorry. Oh, yeah, baseball conference.
John
Rocker.
Rocker's got some Namdani thoughts.
Oh, wow. He wants to weigh in on the Democratic primary and the New York City mayoral race.
Well, for New York Hot Sports Opinions, that's where John Rocker made his name.
It's true.
He put a whatever you call it on the Statue of Liberty. What Dan has asked what it is.
Oh, the thing that covers your whole body but not your eyes. That's a good one.
All right. Yeah. So out at Possum Kingdom, there was a family visiting for baseball, youth baseball. They went down to a beach area at Possum Kingdom. At one point, she realizes wedding ring off. It had fallen into the lake. The ring was from 1910.
So she was really old.
Yeah, she and I think she was an old bride too, so she was 167.
Nice.
So, did you know they have you can call something Blue Diver Search and Recovery was called in to join the search. It's a 100 by 50 foot area. So they say, but I mean, it's a lake.
Wonder what that costs to call them in.
I would
Certainly
love
it's
to
not
know.
just taxpayer money paying for that, right?
I don't think so.
Good.
No. Because
like if it was a dead kid or something, you'd probably like, okay, the county will pay for that one.
You would acquiesce to
I'd
your tax
begrudgingly allow them to search for the kid. Although, I mean, if you know the kid's in there, what was the point of just getting the kid out?
So this dude from the dive team goes back out there Monday when the water is calmer. He finds the ring. And, Possum Kingdom is not Grand Cayman. That water...
Yeah, that's amazing.
I don't have any idea how you pull that off. Especially a couple days later.
Maybe you have, a metal detector that you can use underwater.
That is not...
the worst idea you've ever heard.
No, I don't think...
Not the worst.
You still see people doing that, man. When
Walking
I go down to
along the
Galveston, still hits.
Looking for a nice...
I'll do a little metal detecting on you.
Not shocked, but also why.
Just learned how when I was a kid with my grandma and uncles.
Well, I
learned how.
I could probably pick it up without being taught.
You're not a native wind whisperer. They've got a fucking contraption you use.
But you learn the different tones and what that tone means is that tone is aluminum can. I don't need to dig that up.
Okay, so is it sound wave? What is it?
So it picks up off the type of metal it is, and it sends a tone, like a higher pitch tone or a lower pitch tone. And you can look on the metal detector, and it'll kind of give you a gauge, but you kind of learn over time, all right, that's an aluminum can. I don't really need to dig. That's probably not worth, But then I've also dug up coins and stuff like that. So, yeah, there's an art to it, Jake, and I've enjoyed many a afternoon doing it.
What's the coolest thing you ever found?
Just some old regular American currency from the 40s.
Those cans.
That doesn't seem like that long ago.
Don't sneeze at those cans. You could end up getting $15, $20 off Wet and Wild.
Yeah, what if you found a Lone Star?
That was awesome. Did you just hear him say that?
I found the old
but you found a Lone Star beer
beers
from
and stuff
140 years ago.
You may.
The first Lone Star ever made.
We stay in Texas. Speaking of Lone Star,
oh look, our sit-in cracking a nice Lone Star.
Yeah.
Bet your buns. Thursday is so basically the weekend, especially when it's afternoon.
Yeah.
And we knew he was getting a red can, right?
This is not.
That guy does not look
I
like a
love
blue
the
can
Blues.
guy.
This is not the day for the Blues.
No, I want full leaded.
Yeah. I told when you were downstairs, I was like, God, man, Blake just wants to see one of these guys pull from the guard position and dig out a linebacker.
Get on space, man.
So
Let's
bad.
go get a DB. What do you say?
All right, this will be the Houston video, Clayton. So this is one that came across the social media timeline and then went and found the news story in Houston at the Galleria. Their Galleria, very nice, massive, much like here. There was a theft Sunday afternoon, and I believe that it was eyeglasses that this guy was trying to steal. But when the police pursued him, he jumped from the second floor of the mall. So let's play this, Clayton. I think there's some sound of people that were maybe trying to watch it.
I ain't gonna keep telling them. Stop playing with.
So this is the thief.
Damn.
And he was posting as he was headed to go steal a pair of glasses. Now you can see him running here, and at the bottom floor of the Galleria, you're going to have an ice skating rink, which he just jumped
Did he break his ankles?
Ankles?
Wow. What an idiot.
And the guy, it's so funny.
That's like the
The guy
hardest
from
thing
the
he could
mall
do.
comes over, or he skates over, or I don't know if he's from the mall, but somebody skates over, and they want to feel bad for him, but they're gesturing down at him in a real like, well, what'd you think?
But
he's still
he just
he's
pulls
laid
his
out,
phone out.
and he's on his phone. He can't move. His legs are broken.
But he's not writhing around in pain. He's
probably
actually
shocked.
on Instagram.
He is updating the gram.
Just accepted defeat so bad.
Yeah.
Golly.
Second level.
Dacked himself.
Yeah.
Gotta hope it's a cramp.
Yeah, let's run this back.
Okay, yeah. So if you guys pick him up at first, he's running, I think, like you'll see him from the police, and then at some point just decides, now he's over here. He's over here to the right of the screen. If you're watching, you can probably see through his leg over, and that is, for reference, you can see a skater below him, like how far down it is.
You dummy.
It's not only dumb in that sense, but like dumb in the sense of
What was going to happen next?
Let's say he did land softly. He's still in the mall. He's going to get caught.
He's not only in the mall. It would have been funny if he landed softly and then tried to start running.
Just peeled out.
Nice. But if it was a ball pit, I mean, he's going to.
Yeah,
He's going to get
you're
caught.
surrounded. It's Sunday afternoon.
Yeah,
wrong kind of water.
Yeah, the employee.
What are you doing?
Adios, mio.
And he's just chilling, like, yep, that didn't work. It does kind of look like blood.
So you just drag him off, like skate
Now,
him
do you
off?
think?
Just pull him.
He's immediately on his phone.
Since I'm so worried about our tax dollars these days, so do our tax dollars pay to fix his legs, or is that on his personal insurance?
Your
He'll be there.
tax dollars are paying for some of that, for sure.
So that is a way. If you are poor and you can't afford health insurance,
You can probably break your own legs.
if you jump, onto an ice rink at the Galleria. Oh, wow, you found a cancer diagnosis while I'm here. Well, I'm in prison. Now I can get because I'm sure they'll give you great treatment if you're in prison.
Concierge,
Cancer treatment.
top to bottom.
Be cool if the Stars girls just came out there and swept him off.
Yeah.
The big shovel,
Yeah.
The Zamboni.
Everybody starts throwing hats on the ice.
All right, so I found this headline intriguing because we know that our governor, Governor Greg Abbott, has been embattled politically. Shout out to Brian Curtis for an only in journalism word. He had the THC veto to deal with. Then Dan Patrick's talking shit coming for his throat the next day. Which is why I find it funny that his next order of business was creating a task force to battle something called screw worms, which are apparently a massive threat to livestock and cattle in the state of Texas. The New World screwworm was eradicated from the United States in 1966. But in 2024, the parasite moved through Central America and established its presence in southern Mexico, leading to concern it could end up in Texas. So these, again, porous borders.
The wall wouldn't.
Fucking immigrant strain of worm.
Write this down on things that are back.
Yeah. So now, well, this might have been Biden. I don't know, but because he was letting through. Yeah. And I mean, I'm joking, but it is crazy that the government, like the state body.
How was it eradicated back then?
Vaccine.
Vaccine.
Was it a vax?
Let's see. That's a good question. I should have asked.
And just do it again.
Using a sterile insect technique.
So just make them not be able to repopulate, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we're way out of our. We release sterile male screwworm flies in this province to create a biological barrier.
It's like an oxymoron.
Huh.
It's hardcore, man. That's great.
It is, but I just think it's funny that when you think about government and you think about policy, primarily the politicians you know the names of, they're just posturing on television for like the hot button issues.
Yeah.
But like a big part of it is like, man, we got a worm in Mexico that might wreck the cattle for this season.
Yeah.
And do untold damage to businesses. And again, not to make it political, but that is the sort of thing that when the government is like doing science,
that's what it's for.
I think tends to be.
Yeah, and it's not always like there's really no profit on it.
Right.
Until you need there to be,
like a charity bowling tournament.
Got a tip. Apparently a friend of ours has a friend who owns a bowling alley in Plano and is ready to welcome us. So we got a hookup for a bowling tournament, boys.
I'm down.
Y'all drive east.
These guys look like they would bowl.
Oh,
You'd be there, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Bowl at 90.
Hate to see him coming.
You bowl a 90?
Yeah, I'm terrible. All gas, no brakes, straight gutter balls.
You'll still be there, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially if they have the radar gun up on the screen.
Exactly.
See if we can, how hard we can throw that thing.
Yeah.
A couple red cans.
Mm-hmm.
Break a little personal record. This is a story that happened in Fort Worth that has recently gained new life online because do you guys remember, or maybe you're aware of from your own algorithms, there's a certain type of lawyer who loves TikTok and Twitter specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And they do bits, and they're going to give you tips on how to avoid the DUI or a search this weekend. But they'll also put out, like warning, more serious type videos. There's a law firm in Fort Worth, and they have two clients from Houston who were visiting downtown Fort Worth for a business conference. They were at the Fairfield Inn on Houston, or is it Houston? So this week, the attorneys released the footage from this case, and it is a man walks to the front desk and says that he's married to one of the two ladies. Now, he had seen these ladies, like, outside the hotel, and he apparently said, I'm married to the redheaded lady who just was up here. She gave him the room number. He went to the room, knocked on the door. This is like 2 o'clock in the morning. Nobody answered. He went back down, said, hey, this is that room, that's my wife, she's asleep. I need to get in. They let him in, and he sexually assaulted one of them while the other one was able to escape and get help. And this hotel is being sued, obviously, for everything. And this attorney, though, is putting this video out to say, like, hey, this is an industry problem. This is something that if you work in the service industry or the hospitality industry, you should know this is a problem. But it's creepy, dude, because like they just walk him, and it's especially the fact the guy like wasn't deterred, like that it didn't work. And he's just like, what if I get him to let me in?
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's insane. Actually, the part I didn't read of this story is the amount. $250K each in damages? That seems low.
Yeah.
Way low. especially if one of them actually got touched. 51-year-old Dallas letter carrier sadly passed away over the weekend on the job due to heat exhaustion. Feels like I think I would actually love that job.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you would love that job.
Not
I think
walking, though.
I think all three of us would like it.
No, get your steps.
Do they
get
ever
outside.
seem? And they don't ever seem pissed off. My male people are cool.
They must have changed something. Because when I was a kid, that was going postal was the thing they would say.
Right.
Like guys would shoot. Back then, we didn't shoot up schools.
Right. You had a little more dignity.
Shot up post offices, yeah. And apparently, like, because the deadlines, it was just tough to get everything sorted and blah, blah, blah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know Brunig's a big fan of the post office.
Well, it runs sneakily.
It is.
Well, like
if you think about it.
It's crazy how efficient it is.
Yeah. And that's Brunig's thing is because everybody will start screaming the word socialism. Maybe that New York mayor guy, right? Mm-hmm. He's not the mayor. He's just the candidate.
Right.
But, like, oh, you don't want I'll never go to a grocery store that's run by the government. Well, they do a pretty good job with the mail. Like, maybe you should try it.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is always, and I get that it's different, but, like, I feel like, don't feel like a socialist when I call the fire department. If my house is on fire, I'm like, well, I pay these taxes. Everyone
why
gets
wouldn't
the service.
That's the thing. I do think healthcare should be under there, but I don't know. I only think that because healthcare just is a beating to deal with, man.
Yeah,
that's something you don't get told.
It's a beating to deal with, but
as
actually, that's kind of a pretty kick-ass business model to be like, what if you'd rather be dead than deal with us?
Like then you're subject to the terrible business model of the mortuaries, and it's all bad, dude.
It is all bad. You know, I think I have a problem. I talk more now that I'm sober. Like, I'm more interactive with people. And I asked the lady at my eye doctor who owned the place. So
you're turning into Chappie?
Not quite.
Hola. As you sit down at a Mexican restaurant.
I can't rule it out, but it's not happening yet. No, but we had talked to somebody who had told us that they knew somebody in like the eyewear game, and they had told me like, hey, the place you go, that's owned now by like Berkshire Hathaway. And it had been purchased during the time that I've been a patient, because I was bitching like, it sucks now. Like, I feel like it used to be a smaller type shop.
Oh,
and
is that why you were saying my old HVAC company might be?
Yeah,
okay.
And actually, John Oliver also just did an episode on that. But I don't know. I was talking to the lady. I'm like, she kind of lit up. And I was like, oh, I heard it's kind of different. She was like, oh, is that what you mean?
You can tell? Yeah, it sucks.
I was like, yeah, I heard you guys this.
She knew it sucked.
Yeah. Yeah. But also, she was like,
bone?
I'm old. I'm out of the game on, like, trying to change things or whatever. And then we didn't bone, but she blew me right there.
Whoa.
Yeah. Right there. And had her do the little eye puff thing on my wiener.
Do you wear contacts?
Yeah. They don't do the eye puff thing anymore, by the way.
Oh.
No, I've recently been to the eye doctor.
Yeah. No more puffs.
I might have had a Persian eye doctor. It was great. I don't know what her.
You do, and I think the point we missed earlier. You do know Persian, Indian, not the same, quite different. Indian,
I don't know that.
Much darker. So, like the woman you're seeing, that you've been reporting back to us on, collection of women, they're almost certainly Indian. I don't know that
they're
you would
darker
be
than
able
me,
to clock a Persian right away.
Which is like every other person in the world. So.
That is true. There's your news, Dan. We have a phone call to make.
We do?
Well, we can. We do need to talk about it. You're the whitest person I've ever seen unless you're watching the documentary about the Boston police officer killed in a small town in Massachusetts.
I just started that. The Karen Reed thing?
In which case you may...
Here's proving I'm not that white. Look at my... I got a great tan line. Look at how
there you go.
Isn't that amazing?
Holy God, dude!
Yeah. Isn't that kind of amazing? I've been, doing a lot of walking.
Yeah.
And so when you look at me without me taking off my sock, you're like, wow, he looks really white. No. This leg is not really white.
It's exactly like Big Jim.
That is really white.
Being fat.
Dan's going to be on Feet Finder now.
So if you're making a phone call, before you make a phone call, or while you make
I have to tell you this. My dad texted me and he doesn't. Just let me handle it, okay?
We're calling Chappie?
Yeah.
Okay.
There was some stuff I wanted to talk to him about that he doesn't want to talk about.
Can it be brought to us by Frankel and Frankel?
Of course.
Personal injury attorneys.
817-214-333-3333. The Frankels are your first call. Let's make sure you're okay first if you're involved in an accident or you're personally injured. But then they're going to start trying to pick you off.
When that guy landed on the ice, he just picked up his phone and he started dialing. Because he saw my legs are broken.
Yeah.
This ice should have been softer. I was told it was water.
We can run the video again. I didn't see a sign that said no jumping to the ice.
Right.
So
you call Frankel. Now, they may end up saying, look, dude, I think this is frivolous and I can't take this case.
But if anybody can see merit and get you what you deserve, if in fact you do deserve anything, it is the Frankels.
Yeah. So, shout out to them. Are you dialing the phone, or what are we doing here? How long do you want the
I thought
Frankels
we'd start
talk
like
to be?
Today in history or something. I don't know. It's his
and
birthday.
then just add him whenever?
Yeah.
Okay.
God, it's so funny, too, the way that the guy's legs go out, like, in a different way. It's funny.
Oh! Well, I could start with viewer mail birthdays then. We have Conquistador of the C-Zone.
Maybe I should.
I would like to wish my good friend 690 Scene a happy birthday. He's been a great contributor to the pod since its inception. I had my people run some numbers and do some analysis. The results show that Sean's 690 sit-in idea is responsible for precisely $154,320.69 in revenue since the advent of the 690 sit-in. Also, if you have a need for a personal financial advisor, contact him at Sean@360wm.net. He'll make your portfolio strong to quite strong. Party balls, Sean, from Matt Dallas. So these guys are friends now?
Could the world handle that?
I don't know. Those guys...
All those deals?
That's like too many bits, too.
A lot of bits.
A lot of money, a lot of bits.
of money. 4 bits.
Sea Commander.
Yeah.
He spelled out the...
Yeah, I didn't think you meant the ocean.
The nastiest of places that, well, kind of smells like the ocean.
Can I just say, it is interesting the more you think about how that word is so bad here and so accepted by our Western Hemisphere neighbors.
Do you think, like,
it's very odd.
Grade school kids say cunt?
They have to.
Yeah, they're like, yeah.
I bet it's hilarious,
cunty.
too.
Yeah.
What would it sound like, Blake? A bit of a cunt.
I can't do it. I hate him so much I can't even do their accent.
Birthday shout out to my little brother P1 David Jones is 37. His
DJ.
leader is Dan. Let's see. He told me to listen to you guys when you were on the ticket, but I don't follow sports, so I didn't want to. Anyway, I love the show now. I'm happy to be a subby. More Bayless, less Hep from CW.
C-Dub.
Konnichiwa to the Kim Jong-un of Slim Strong Poon. Happy grams and an ounce of weed birthday to my cousin Joey, currently stationed in Okinawa, regretting the Hellcat he bought at 20.9 APR.
Dude, that is the most American story. Get your military check there.
His leaders are TC, the Roast Twins, and Jake brushing back a third grader with a 39-mile-per-hour heater at field day in 2031. More Blake, more Sarah Hepala, more Soroy Don Johnson jet boat stories from Brian.
That he brings up something funny. So when he said happy number of grams in an ounce of weed birthday, you see videos like this of like kids your kids' age, I guess, on social media. But like how many kids don't know that a gram is an actual unit of measurement that applies to
because
things
Instagram?
No, I mean gram or ounce, like that they don't know that people also measure like rocks or sand or sugar that way. Like that they think those are drug terms.
Oh.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because I know there were words I heard in rap songs growing up that I thought were specific to like one thing.
Dear Dan the P-Man, I'd like to wish my fellow DF and softball dad Santiago happy birthday. Let's see. Here's a picture of his wife. Jake is my leader since the Banter Davidian days. More Blake Boyer game reports, less Sarah Hepela from DF Ryan. I think we're 2-1 against Sarah so far in birthdays today.
Hey, did you see Mayor Eric Johnson offered just a standing invite to anyone who'd like to move from New York City to Dallas?
Really?
Yeah. Because of this mayor.
Well, as this mayor should know, maybe this guy is running, but then he'll just change parties and everybody will be really happy pretty soon.
Yeah, also, like, Eric Johnson may think the thing is over because Eric Johnson hasn't had to run against anybody. He's like, wait, there's more?
Dear Pussy Man, my brother Jennings Ryan Hill turned 50.
JRH.
You know how I know he's gay? Because his first name is Jennings.
Boy, it sounds like you've been pretty cool about that.
His leader is Run the Ball Guy. My leader, as a founding member of the Kimbronies, is Clayton.
Okay.
Never punt from Stu, the Rivian guy, the Make Rev a Mutt Again guy. Oh, that's right. He has that Aggie website.
I have a shirt.
And the basketball car tray maker guy. Boy, I forgot he's done all of those things.
I forgot about that one.
Good dude, Stu. Dear Master of the Pink Stink, I write in for my own birthday because my wife doesn't understand podcasts. Big surprise, it is my 32nd birthday. My son and I will be listening. He's a huge Dumb Zone fan. Am I a bad parent? Who cares? His name is Noah. My leaders are Dan's unwillingness to learn geography and Jake's aggressive kettlebell slams at 5 a.m. Hashtag never forget from Ryan Anderson.
You ready to move some weight out there, bud?
Especially if we're shacking up in that garage. God almighty, you're going to be throwing that shit everywhere.
Are you talking about training camp?
Venice Beach, right there in the front yard, dude. I'll set up a bench on the right in the driveway.
And finally, on viewer mail birthdays, dear Magellan of the Mariana Stench.
Is it the trench? The
Yep. The maritime joke.
Happy Scott Feldman birthday to my brother and half Blake correspondent, Greg Tepper.
Damn.
His leaders are good guys with a crowbar, Ted Emmerich, and the always level-headed Tex-Ags online community. More KJ, more Soroy, Fire Nico from Matt Tepper, DZ729.
Tepper Palooza.
Great dudes.
So,
legends.
Little on this day, OTD, Thursday, June 26th. On this day, the toothbrush was invented. What year would you guys say
I was
maybe
about to Google our one.
the toothbrush would have been invented? Now, I will tell you, there was at one point in the world other cleaning tools like chew sticks that existed in ancient civilizations, so we haven't totally ignored our dental hygiene for our entire existence on the earth, but in years that we measure,
I'm going to say 1865. That the Civil War did not see a toothbrush.
Give me 1890.
Justin, do you like to play?
1901. Yeah, 1901.
$14.98.
No, we're playing fast and loose with what is a toothbrush.
In China, using boar bristles attached to bone or bamboo handles.
Can I just say something about how I view the world through a Western lens?
Thought we did it.
Well, not only did I think we did it, when I was playing history back in my head, I forgot China existed completely.
Yet they did like gunpowder and stuff, right?
Yeah. I was thinking about Europe, and China's got a whole thing going on over there.
Yeah.
On this day in 1963, President Kennedy visited West Berlin. He delivered his famous speech expressing solidarity with the city's residents, declaring, "Ich bin ein Berliner," to which many people to this day will say that he kind of did the subject-verb thing and slang wrong, and he said, "I am a jelly donut." Look it up. I said look it up.
Damn, man.
On this day in 1974, the supermarket price scanner made its debut in Troy, Ohio.
That tracks. You like being able to scan your stuff now?
I hate doing it myself.
You know you got to pick up the thing now? At some places, they won't let you just
The
run
gun?
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like the gun.
Brooks does. Just make him do it.
I hate doing it. I do think it's taken our jobs. I especially hate it at Central Market because I used to love to go to the. I'm only buying a few items. I go to the quick aisle, but the only thing at the quick aisle now is the 6 count, and they have one lady standing there to help you through there.
What's she doing?
How's your guy?
Xander, I haven't seen him in months.
Dude, you know, he probably.
I think he got stolen away right away.
Right.
Ice.
Potentially, but I would have petitioned to keep him here for sure for his unbelievable grocery skills. But he's probably scanning in the big city now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe
on a private jet or something, he's doing his scanning up there, just somewhere.
Did you watch baseball yesterday?
I didn't.
It's pretty cool.
I know. I'm gonna watch more of it, or watch some of it later.
I'm not going to try to say the guy's name because I don't want Jared to make fun of me, but Paul Skeens v.
Mizorowski.
Was badass.
Sorry, Jared.
You're watching that when we had a perfect game going?
I actually didn't watch the Pirates at all, but I saw like a 5-minute thing of it. But I watched a decent bit of DeGrom.
Yesterday afternoon.
Here's the thing about watching DeGrom. The game is over very quickly. Throw it on and you're 6 innings in, an hour and 10 in. Now the rest of it, you don't know.
Did you drive here on Dove Road?
Yeah.
Is that how you drive here, or do you go to the highway?
Well, today I was coming from Carter's school, but I still put me on Dove.
Okay. So do you see what else is taking our jobs? So certainly these computers are scanning things, taking our jobs. Now we're doing it. So it took the jobs of people and then gives us more work to do. I'm heavily against it. Heavily against all of it. But on Dove, at least this was yesterday. Did you drive there? Oh, no, you weren't here. Yeah, you were. They've taken the jobs of the traffic construction flag wavers. There used to be 2 dudes that would have a job because of the traffic construction that's going on for a little bit. And, you know, one dude might hold the sign that says stop, and then he turns it over. Slow. It says slow, and then, or the flag waver, whatever. They now have that automated. They have the one on Dove Road yesterday. Did you have to sit and wait in a 20-car line?
Yes.
And then this thing, it's just like a the thing you go in and out
garage?
of. Yeah. And so you just sit there and kind of wait. And
I did used to think that guy would cause me to think, because he'd sit there and you're staring at him and he's just staring. It's hot, but you're like, it doesn't look that bad. And I think those guys make decent money.
I'd always give him.
But I would just, I've been thinking about his life. Like,
hey, man,
is he feeling this or not? Like,
well, I think you got a better. I would think you got a better gig than the guy in the hole over there, who's like digging. You're standing there with a flag. Although maybe they're like, Steve, I'm going to give him a name.
Steve makes more for being in the hole. And also, maybe everybody's like, put the bitch guy up there. And you may be looking at the bitch, and you don't even know it. You're looking at that guy like, oh,
right.
The guy
He's
works
the
outside.
pussy.
He's a man, not like me. He's tough. But everyone he works with thinks he's gay.
On this day in 2015, Richard Matt was shot and killed by authorities in a wooded area.
That's Dan Amora, is it not?
He was one of the 2 convicted murderers who escaped from the Clinton Correctional Facility.
Blake, did you ever watch that show?
No.
It is 100% worth your time. And I think you specifically, for some reason, would love it.
I heard very good things about it.
And, I mean, I don't know, how much he had to do with it, but I think that was Ben Stiller's, first big directorial thing. So, as you see in Severance, he's great.
And one famous wedding on this date, I only note it for, not just because I feel like Soroy kind of knows Don Johnson, but Don Johnson married Melanie Griffith on this day in 1989. But the big note is it's for the second time. So they had been married before, they got divorced, they did some stuff. It's always very interesting to me.
Yeah, got a buddy whose parents did it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I wonder if he's happy. Like at first when you're a kid and your parents get divorced, you're upset. So would you be happy if 5 years later they got back together? And you had seen your mom just running dudes in left and right.
Oh, I'm sorry, Clayton. I messed the camera up. Justin, can you grab that off my sock? The Velcro stuck to it. I think if there was clear separation, then probably a lot of kids are like, actually, I was over this. But what usually I think happens is you kind of stay, maybe bone every 4 or 5 months, and you're never really fully off it. I think.
Other birthdays today, we have J.J. Barea, 41. Rudy Gobert, 33.
Wait, this bears mentioning. Her first marriage to Don Johnson was less than a year? And her second marriage was 13 years later? That's like a way different deal. That's like what the guy was talking about yesterday. Reigniting the fling. All right, sorry, go ahead.
And then they got divorced again?
Yeah, but that time they made it a decade. Antonio Banderas.
Chad Pennington is 49.
I couldn't care less about it.
Shannon Sharp is 57.
He'll have sex on you.
Michael Vick is 45.
Coach?
Yeah. I can't remember.
He'd been coach of a team before. Right?
Is this a joke?
A dogfighting team.
Yeah, I figured so. Yeah. Okay. He's the coach at Norfolk.
Hey, close
Norfolk
that door.
State.
And go put that dog down. Greg LeMond is 64. U.S. Bicycling Hall of Famer. Now, how full can that be? You got to think about it.
I know. Is it just every kid who learned?
When I was in college, they had a bike race for some reason scheduled in our town and in Athens, Ohio, and Greg LeMond was going to be racing, so I went and stood in one spot and saw Greg LeMond drive by.
Kind of rode a bike by, and
there he goes.
Boy, 5 inductees this year into the Bicycling Hall of Fame. Also, if you'd like to rent the Hall of Fame for your next event, click here. Host your next meeting, party, or gala.
Where is it? What's
at the Bike Hall of Fame?
In Davis, California, the United States Bicycling Hall of Fame. It's where we're having our Christmas party.
Matt, what was his name? Matt Harrow.
Like, can you name another? Well, Lance Armstrong and Greg LeMond. Those are the only ones I could name. American bike racer.
No, I don't know any racers. I was thinking of the freestyle guys.
Ryan Nyquist.
Yeah, there you go. Ryan Nyquist from the games.
Yeah.
Derek Jeter, 51. So overrated.
Matt. Matt Hoffman.
Yeah.
That's the one I was trying to think of.
Nick Offerman, 55. Jason Schwartzman is 45.
Man, he's had a cool career. How much you know about him?
I don't know a lot about him, but I do love.
He's in he's a Wes Anderson muse, obviously.
Yeah, I know he's on board with Tim and Eric.
Yeah,
he's been in some bits with them,
he
and
was
I
in
love
Gemstones.
It. Yeah,
and he was also the drummer for Phantom Planet, which was like they got really big. I went and saw him. They opened for Incubus. It's like that feels like the shortstop, quarterback, best-looking kid thing. You can't be on the TV show and the band.
Actor Sean Hayes is 55. He's the one on the Smartless podcast that you don't understand why he's on there.
The one from Will and Grace?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough listen. That's not for me, folks.
Smartless?
Yeah.
Yeah, same. I tried. They had somebody on recently. Oh, that was probably why.
It was fine, but I'm not.
Speaking of Shane. Did you see?
No.
You did?
ESPYs.
He's hosting the ESPYs, bro. Dude. I thought there's no way. Are they letting him go?
This is 100% the Trump era. That's what that is. You're not getting that otherwise. Dude, that's crazy.
Are they going to let him be funny? Because the last guy that was funny hosting the ESPYs was Norm Macdonald.
So
and they put a ban on that.
I'm not as long time of a Shane guy as some others, but I don't think there is a chance in hell that he's doing anything other than like exactly what he wants. Dude, he just called Saban like a cheater on game day, like with him sitting there, like on the national championship. And he's gonna do, yeah.
That's great.
Because it's
I'm actually going to watch the ESPYs.
The problem isn't that they've hired other people who haven't been good. It's that they've hired other people who can't be good.
Yeah.
So
that they stopped after Norm
That's
Macdonald,
what I'm saying, though, is that if they're bringing – we haven't yet seen them bring in someone who we think is good and that person get kneecapped. If they bring in someone good, they're going to get jokes about trans athletes. That's 100% happening, and everybody's going to be pissed about it the next day. But that's
new ESPN, though.
I know.
New ESPN. They got McAfee. They get people pissed at him, and they're like, "What? So you're talking about us, huh?" I think new ESPN might know what they're doing if this is what they're doing. I was thinking about Trump too, because he is the funniest president. He's funny. He's legit funny, but he is politics funny in the sense that when he was not in politics, you didn't say that he's just totally hilarious. He was still above your Joe Buck and Michael Irvin and people that are sports funny. But once he slid into fully the political, like he can say some things that if you're saying it in a debate, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. But if you said that in real life, it wouldn't be like...
That's true. That's shocking. Yeah.
Yeah, he is... And he is funny enough, like he's been on Stern and all that. Like he used to get on Letterman. Like he's that. Anyway.
I just think he has timing.
Yes.
He just has a natural communication ability with his timing that is hard to teach.
Aubrey Plaza, 41.
So great.
Kim's fan?
No way, really?
I don't remember it.
I think she divorced her husband and then he killed himself.
Yeah, that definitely happened. That was fairly recent. I guess I just want to kind of get inside the mind of Blake here, where a woman should be put on some sort of a shame list because her husband...
She didn't please him enough?
I don't know what the deal was.
Dude, that was a funny morning on Twitter, though, because I guess he was, like, in the business also, and people knew him. Yeah, so he's an actor, I think? Producer, that's right, yeah. So he kills himself, and, you know, she's, like, a beautiful piece. And before I even thought about it, I probably saw 20 tweets that morning of, like, If you think using her husband's suicide is a time for sliding over Paul's DMs, I'm like, well, it's more of a time than it was yesterday, because yesterday he was alive. So, don't tell us what to do. We're trying to comfort her.
Ariana Grande, 32.
Killed Mac Miller.
Fuck, man, that's so unfortunately mostly true.
Hurts.
He wrecked his range. Or G-Wagon, maybe.
Nathan Followell is 46. From Kings of Leon. Colin Greenwood is 56.
They got so big.
They just got too big?
Too big, too fast.
They probably had some booze problems.
Not enough foundation. They had one song.
They had more than one song. What was the one you just did?
One halfway decent song.
Colin Greenwood, 56.
Radiohead, no? Brother of Joni.
And our birthday of the day for the show, I went with Paul Thomas Anderson, 55. Based on the strength of Boogie Nights alone. But then he did a lot of other good stuff after that. Born on this day now dead, Colonel Tom Parker.
The Elvis guy?
Think of my neighbor. Remember,
Yeah.
She will not take any Tom Parker slander. The world's tallest woman ever was born on this day, Zheng Jinlian, born in China.
Do you think you'll go to Graceland Lady's funeral? Like, will you get invited?
I don't think so.
Not that close?
No. My wife might, though. She goes to
neighborhood activities. I just feel like if you have a bit like that, you have to have it as part of your funeral.
No, there's
like you just don't have a choice.
Her whole life is
Okay.
Elvis, dude. I don't know what it is yet, but she's probably got the casket.
Impersonator?
She's probably got the casket, the same one that Elvis is buried in, or something. She's
yeah.
I mean, she's made her house look as much like Graceland as she can. They decorate it for Christmas, the same way Graceland decorates their, whatever. She's really stoked on Elvis, dude.
I think she has an agreement with her husband to position her on the toilet.
I'm saying he absolutely has an Elvis get-up that he puts on for her. And they do it. They have to. I don't know that for sure, but I feel it in my bones.
I think you feel it in your bones because you know that if you had an awesome Elvis impression and a wife that was horny for Elvis, you would be knocking it out all the time.
Why not?
As Elvis.
Let's do it. Let's have some fun.
No reason why not.
Elvis was in Forrest Gump.
Somehow Forrest is standing right there with Elvis. I mean, how did they do that? It looks real.
Oh, man.
And Babe Didrikson Zaharias. Who is that, Blake?
I don't know.
BDZ.
You've never heard of Babe Didrikson Zaharias?
Rangers
middle
guy?
reliever, lefty.
She was voted the top woman athlete of the first half of the 20th century. So they voted in like 1950. They're like, well, there's like 3 women that do anything.
Okay, we're talking.
But take a look at Babe Didrikson Zaharias someday, and you will see.
Were you going for Bivens Dirks?
What is this going for? I'm just riffing, bro.
Anyway, she looks very mannish, and I think this is the problem with women's sports in general is that can't you be born with a little more man in you? Than, Like some ladies are going to have a
100%
natural advantage, just like men are different. Men have more men in
yeah, I know.
There are most
look
guys.
At us. Look at these guys.
Yeah, most guys are more manly than I am.
Yeah,
and that is why I'm not able to sports with them. Otherwise,
what sport did she do? Did we even cover that?
Boy, I just remember when I grew up, I would hear her name as a great
athlete. When they just made him do everything.
Yeah, probably Olympics. I don't know. Look her up.
She's playing golf here. She's playing basketball here.
Golf?
She's throwing a javelin here.
Again, she was like the one lady
Hurdles,
that did stuff.
Boxing. She did everything.
She has to be the greatest. Who would we say right now is the greatest female athlete ever? They'd probably give it to like Serena Williams or something, right?
Serena and Simone Biles.
You know, with that
I'm sure
award,
there's some I don't
we
know.
should probably just give it to all of the females.
That's true. Why single out just one?
That's a great point.
Dead on this day, still dead. Strom Thurmond.
Oh, Dan.
I've been to his center in Clemson.
It does beg the question of like how racist you have to be for them to not keep something with your name on it. Because he was
super racist.
Super racist. Way later than it was okay. In Clemson.
Kinky Friedman died on this day 1 year ago today. Milton Glaser, he created the I Heart New York logo.
What?
Okay, generic.
Why is that in our birthday list?
It's interesting. He died. He's the guy that created it. I remember telling you this story. Maybe this is pre-Hab, Jake. But I told you this story that he created that logo and never made $1.
I'm sorry. I remember this. You kept saying I Heart, and I thought you were talking about the radio station.
Oh, the I Heart logo? No.
Who the fuck cares who made I Heart Radio's logo?
I love New York, but
yes,
it's the heart.
And I do remember you telling the story.
Oh, okay.
But I did not immediately put that
He
together.
like wrote it. Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. When was the guy who made like the Yahoo business section logo?
Okay, I didn't know why you were like,
When was he
why would
born?
you mention this? Like, I don't know. It's what we do. But our death of the day, we're not going to do that. On this day in 2019, Beth Chapman.
Oh, my God. Blake, do you know?
No.
That is the wife of Dog.
And that was today in
Bounty Hunter. I'll call my dad tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, I guess we didn't get your dad.
It's okay.
Were you trying him?
You might have.
I was waiting for the go.
It's okay.
Oh, I thought you just said whenever.
I did.
Okay. So,
it's fine, though.
Closing
this was
remarks.
packed.
Closing remarks brought to us by Game Day Men's Health. If you go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com, you can find the location nearest you. And when you talk to Game Day Men's Health, mention the Dumb Zone, and you'll get 10% off your testosterone therapy for life.
You're in and out of there in less than 2 minutes, and you're feeling better in a few weeks.
Go get your testosterone levels checked. Hey, first of all, just do that.
They do that.
And just kind of see. Is this why I'm feeling like crap?
For free.
Yeah, for free. Maybe they might say, no, look, your levels are fine. Do this and this. I went there for a nice B12 shot a couple weeks ago. A little pick-me-up for the week. So, Game Day Men's Health. Please mention the Dumb Zone. They're the sponsor of our Game Day Men's Health studio as well. And the studio's had a big boner for like 3 weeks now.
Dude, chill studio.
Anyway, yeah, so this is closing remarks with Justin Hayward.
Hey.
And I was looking in the past. You have sent us a few things.
Oh, shoot. Have I?
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully it's good.
Yeah, you knew one of them, I guess, because you had tried to hook up with Qualis about some stuff. Right?
Yes, thank you for that. Brian was awesome. Really, really good guy. Very generous with his time, super knowledgeable. Had a bunch of questions for him. Looking to kind of hook up with him again. He offered monthly connections with him, and yeah, really, really, really good dude. So thank you for that.
You had once sent us an email that you acknowledge is outdated, but you thought it was interesting. You happened upon a story from Denison, Texas in 2018.
Oh, gosh.
Where a man was busted for student-teacher sex, right? So the man was the teacher.
Right.
Right?
Oh, this is a good one.
Investigators asked Coach Day if that was true, And according to court records, he said, quote, he wouldn't deny it. And when asked if he sent pictures of his erection, he said, quote, I ain't sending no softy.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, you know.
If you are asked, or not even asked, but you're thinking I'm going to send a picture of this, yes, you're not going to wait till you get out of the pool.
Yeah. The logic's there.
So you got to give him that. Oh, and then you sent a very detailed, which I liked. You created a new college football format.
Oh yeah,
nice.
Based on like the European soccer model.
Right.
Where there'd be relegation and.
Because I like Jake. I hate the disbursement of like the regionality of it, and so my idea was just
just Jake.
Yeah.
Everybody else loves UCLA playing Maine.
Man, I hate it. I'm an Oklahoma State guy, so like obviously we get beat up by OU all the time, but now they're gone. Texas is gone. You know, this Big 12s. Yeah, I mean it is nice. I can catch games all throughout the day on Saturdays with teams in every time zone, but yeah, I don't know. It just seemed like it would make sense, and
it's just fundamentally changing the product, like of college sports.
Yeah. Yeah, so and I think I've seen that kind of passed around a little bit more, but
what was your idea?
Basically, like the promotion relegation system. So you'll have like your top tier of teams, and then bottom one or two. I don't even remember that email. It's probably pretty old, but bottom one or two teams drop out to the next tier. Top two have a chance to promote up to the next tier, and
yeah, I do this in my NCAA dynasty.
Do you?
Yeah.
Does it work well?
In conference?
Yeah, you can customize the conferences, so I base them on tier and geography, have East and West for the national championship.
Yeah. 128 college football teams, 8 divisions, each has 16 teams. Division 1 is the top tier, Division 8 the lowest tier, and that's how you do it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. I think it'd be great.
So let's do it. What are we doing?
I don't know.
Socialist or something.
You guys have pool. You guys get heavy hitters in here. Who can you?
I know where the Gaylord is. And they're there a lot.
Yeah.
They do seem to be there quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like right now, if I asked every person in this room individually, sports fans, I assume, what's the college football playoff format this year? Are you certain you can
this year? Because I think
because I don't even know if they know, right?
It's going to be
they
16,
have some...
right? But it's not this year yet. It's not 16 yet. Do you know, Blake?
I honestly don't think it's set this year.
Did the SEC get their automatic bids?
The 4 AQs? No. They didn't want them anymore.
Last year, was it 12?
Yes.
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, 4 buys. Remember, they were the 5th seed somehow was your best bet. I don't
because they gave conference champions the
buys. Yes.
So
I think they did announce that this year they're not doing that.
That is correct.
Okay, so they might. Okay.
So Jake, I want you to, well, if you will, I got to get a kid name ranking from you.
This guy's a lot bigger than I am.
No. With teddy bear. So I got 3 kids. Daughter, 2 sons. My daughter is Holland, Hollyn.
I like it.
Second one, Dash. And
don't love it.
Third, Reeves.
What's his middle name?
William.
That one I like.
You like it?
Dash.
It's Dominic's kid as well.
I know. I've had to tell Dominic.
You've had to tell.
Yeah.
Jason Day, the golfer. His kid's name's Dash.
Oh.
Yeah.
But when, let's just cards on the table here, Dominic Robinson played cornerback and wide receiver.
Right, I feel like...
And when he told me his kid's name was Dash, I was like, well, that's kind of silly, but he's probably going to be fast.
Good chance, yeah. Now
you're going to have a guard named Dash? You're going to have a one-tech named
believe
Dash?
Believe it or not, like, at one point in time, I was fast, so, like, it'll...
You do look like an athlete.
Once upon a time, yeah. I mean, I was a hurdler and stuff, so... Maybe we'll...
I would have picked shot put more than hurdle, but...
I tried it.
I mean, you knew what I was going to say. It's just but here's the thing, too, is if they are good at sports, people are really not going to like the kid. They're going to be very jealous because a kid who's good at sports named Dash
right.
is just annoying as hell. Like just getting named something cool that sounds like fast.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, good.
You play
Holland
softball?
Holland
Man,
is
I
nice.
used to. I was a lot like Blake, a straight pull hitter. Just smash as hard
You
as
don't
you
get
can.
out of bed to slap it to the opposite
Absolutely
field.
not.
Did you grow up around here?
No, so P1 Ashley, I'm from Pottsboro, same area as her. I live in Sherman now, so played a lot of rec softball up there, flag football, all that stuff. So yeah, grew up in Pottsboro. Played for terrible teams. We were having to play Salina and all those guys, and it was just we run out of the tunnel with 15 guys. They got 70 dudes suited up on the sideline.
It's fun when I meet someone like this because
Yeah.
we're the same age, and
Yep.
that was my exact same high school football experience. Was just I knew most teams. I knew 4 or 5 guys on their team that were super highly coveted D1 players, and they would have their pads off sometime in the second quarter.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like tape. Saturday
Yeah,
tape
right.
review was not good. It was just, the coaches were always like, out effort them. 6'5".
I'm just pointing
what are we
at my
gonna do?
arm.
Yeah.
I'm like I don't think it's happening.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, this is awesome. I've been a huge fan for a long time. I retired from reading a long time ago, but I did the night the transcript from the court proceedings were released. I mean, I stayed up all night and read it, and I was fist pumping so hard, and loved the Dan's quote about the geo fencing, and I was just always been a big fan, and this is more than I could have ever hoped for. So appreciate everything you guys do, and giving me something positive to listen to throughout the day and laugh about. This is awesome. You guys are great.
I'm going to agree with all that. What's Troy got? What's his bit?
This is my best buddy in the whole world. Yeah, we've been actually. Your parents went to school with my wife's parents. Moms. That's how we met. Yeah, back when we were
moms went to high school in Oklahoma City.
Were you attracted to his mom growing up?
She's hot.
Yeah,
she's hot.
Well, thank you, dudes.
Yeah, guys, thanks. It's been a blast.
Adios, mofo.
We gotta go before this becomes a zoo.
Thank you for watching my video. Subscribe and type for my name if you want to watch more of my videos.
Run the ball. Run the ball.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy. Okay. Okay? You? Absolutely.
Run the ball. Run the